Podcast, the internet's foremost Star Trek podcast, 100% approved.
Fifth most.
It's 100% approved by The Rock. Did you know that?
I mean, I didn't. Did he send you what smells like The Rock is cooking seal of approval?
Yes. It's a picture of him in the Chef Boyardee hat and costume, giving that okay sign.
The kiss. Mwah.
Mwah. That's how he feels
kiss.
about this podcast.
Oh, fuck yeah. Thanks, The Rock. Dwayne the Rock, the Johnson.
He's here right now. He's just very shy.
Okay.
He's too scared of talking, so.
Maybe he is a contract. We don't want to breach it or something.
If you haven't, we don't want to. He's got a no contest contract with whoever makes bad movies.
Whoa.
Look, the thing about The Rock is he's in bad movies, but they're still super watchable because The Rock is in them.
He's got that Schwarzenegger.
Yeah, that charisma
shit going. Yeah, you just love him.
If you haven't listened to M-Class before, every 2 weeks we sit down with a piece of Star Trek media, pick it apart, decide if we love it, hate it, or some weird middle ground where it's super boring and it's a bad episode you don't want to watch. And we have a good time.
Usually go in that direction. It's usually one or the other.
This week we're going to be discussing a Voyager episode, but wait, don't turn it off yet.
Wait, come back.
It's season 6, episode 15, Tsunkatse.
Tsunkatse. Tsunkatse.
It is.
Tsunkatse.
It is guest starring The Rock with a story by The Rock, teleplay by The Rock, and directed by Dwayne Johnson.
Damn, he did a lot.
It's his directorial debut too.
One. Oh, really?
No.
Fuck, I'm clicking on it.
The story is written by Gannon Kenny, who
what a name.
Wrote literally nothing else, apparently. Just this one.
Gannon Kelly.
Kenny.
Gannon Kearney.
Kenney. Kearney.
Story by. What did he do? He didn't do anything. No. Oh my god, he's got 2 things.
This episode is directed by Mike Vehor, who you might know as directing 31 other episodes of Star Trek. Holy shit.
I knew that. Vehar.
Yeah, it's Vehar. Nicknamed Veharder and Veharder, which is a long nickname for Vehar.
Is that really his nickname?
Yeah, because he put in long hours of shooting and not because of the turgidness of his wiener.
His double-weaned turge.
Turge makes it even worse.
I got some turge going in my double peens.
This episode is heavily advertised at the time, and even in the opening credits as being guest starring The Rock.
Yeah, because wrestling was fucking huge in 2000.
This is the WWF times.
Yeah, SmackDown. I don't know.
WWF Monday Night Raw.
This is the Attitude Era, right?
Yeah, which everybody I know who's into wrestling seems to hate, but it's the only one that was like that I know. So I don't know,
because it was completely insane. I remember, like, this is pre Janet Jackson titty pop out times.
Oh yeah, it was pre 9/11.
So people were like still cool with just like weird shit, debaucherous weird shit.
This episode is just an episode of Monday Night Raw. They just played this.
they just like put in like the last Monday night's one, and they had to wait for it and then edit it in real quick, like a South Park episode.
This episode really should be guest starring Jeffrey Combs, since he plays the villain in it.
Jeffrey Combs and J.G. Hertzler.
Ah, fuck, that was my John Larroquette fun fact.
I knew it already!
Yeah, the Hirogen in this episode, those great aliens who you remember from Voyager.
Delta Klingons.
Is played by J.G. Hertzler, who people in his voting district know as Mark Twain, but eagle-eyed Star Trek viewers will know as Martok, the Klingon, the greatest Klingon from Deep Space Nine.
I think he's in every Star Trek, I think. Except the original, obviously, because he probably was like 4.
He's, I don't think he was on TNG.
Maybe not.
No, he was on Deep Space Nine, Voyager, and Enterprise.
Yeah.
He played a Klingon thrice. and he played
Yeah.
a Vulcan twice as well, actually.
Oh, I remember when he was Vulcan.
Oh, he did not play a Vulcan twice. The fucking
I remember when
other
he was
appearances,
Vulcan.
the other appearances thing on Memory Alpha lists like the prophets pretending to be them as a different character, and I think that's some bullshit.
That's dumb as shit. Yeah, it is them. It's just them.
Yeah, I think we talked about this before, but J.G. Hertzler ran for political office as the character that we know from pop culture of Mark Twain, the writer.
So he did play a Star Trek The Next Generation character.
Mark
He played
Twain.
Mark Twain.
Do your Mark Twain impression, John.
Lady Guided, I'm going to smoke these cigars until I'm dead.
He sounds like another character that people might know.
I
but-
don't know what you're talking about. Who might that be? Keep on wizarding.
I hope we hear more from this Mark Twain sound-alike in the future. I want to hear more from him.
Okay, I'll be back after I write my latest book called I Love You, Jeff.
Oh my
A
fuck, I love
Connecticut-
that book.
A Connecticut Yankee in Jeff's butthole.
Oh my god. Chuck Tingle and Mark Twain, same guy?
Maybe. What if? That's why he doesn't
Holy
want to be
shit,
seen.
dude. That's why he's wearing the mask. We fucking
That's why
blew
he-
this wide open.
Oh, fuck, dude. We did. Fuck.
Of course, J.G. Hertzler's most well-known role as Hollow Sweet Guest number 13 in the DS9 episode What You Leave Behind.
Oh, right. I remember that.
This episode is paper thin, but it's not bad. It's not a bad episode.
There isn't really like a B plot.
no,
this
there's an
episode is
A-plot.
sort of
There is a B plot, and it's the A plot.
Yes, the B plot is the captain goes away for a couple of hours.
I guess that's
Right?
true.
Sorta. But I guess maybe the B plot is also
The B
look
plot
at
is
these
Neelix
dudes.
gets a sunburn.
Oh, that's right. And he puts a bunch of shit on his face and it makes him all bubbly.
That's a C plot. Like, somebody being kidnapped and they have to rescue them is usually the B plot. There's like some sort of political thing going on in the A plot that causes it, but we don't have that.
Yeah, there's not that. Now it's just cage fighting.
I think it's
Ultimate fighting.
I think it's important to note that this episode's teleplay was written by Robert Doherty, who he wrote Point Pleasant, a series in 2005 starring Dina Meyer. Do you know Dina Meyer?
Dina Meyer.
I felt like you knew her somehow.
I love Dina Meyer.
Oh, he also was the executive story editor on that Dark Angel TV show. You remember that?
You know who Dina Meyer is, right?
Yeah, I mentioned it because I know you've got a huge fucking crush on her.
Oh man, I love her and her pancake boobs.
You know,
Dizzy.
you can't hide that. You're right.
Dizzy, man. Yo, and Starship Troopers, when that idiot is like, I like, what's her name? I was going to say Carmen Electra, but it's not her.
That's her.
Denise Richards.
Oh no, you're right. It is Denise Richards.
Denise Richards. I'm like, fucking idiot, dude. Dizzy. It's Dizzy. I'm
then,
all
like,
into Dizzy.
He just like settles for Dizzy at a certain point because he's like,
Yeah.
"Oh, Dizzy likes me a lot," so I guess
No,
I'll
he
go with
realizes
her.
what a fucking idiot he was because Dizzy's redhead, and redheads are way better than everybody else. So
Anyway, the the whole point of that movie is how like vapid and like emotionless these idiots are. So,
That's
like,
true.
He just immediately forgets the girl he's wanted his whole life and is like, "Ah, well."
yeah, but he's right to like Dizzy more. Dizzy plays football with him. Like, that's fucking radical, dude. You can have sex with somebody who plays football with you?
You know,
Hell
technically,
yeah.
you can have sex with anyone who plays football with you.
Yeah. I mean, you of course you can, but like, who does? Who gets that in their life? Nobody.
Man, I'd really like to know that, actually. If
Yeah.
you've ever played football with someone and then had sex with them, please write into mclassemail@gmail.com and start at Dear Penthouse.
Don't go. Oh, man, we're gonna get so many. Don't spare us the deets.
Yeah. I want to know how many peens everyone has.
Deets and cleats.
Oh my god, that's our new podcast, Deets and Cleats.
Deets and cleats. This week we're gonna talk about people we had sex with and played football with.
That's the topic of every episode, actually. I don't know why we introduce it that way.
Still zero. Still none.
I've not done it yet. But anyway, let's head to those steamy emails.
Let's read your email. It's just fan fiction.
It's all, like, completely fake. No one's fucking... Of course.
And then I fumbled my jizz into her end zone.
Oh, my God. And then 9 months later, baby Endzone was born.
Endzone Junior.
Endzone Thomas was born.
Oh man.
The basic premise of this episode is like ultimate fighting. Is it good? Is it bad?
Yeah, I don't know, man. This episode is like, it's like kind of all over the place a little bit, but it's also very straightforward at the same time.
They sort of like do these flybys of the moral, right? They have these different morals they're gonna tell, and they do these quick little flybys, like, oh, is fighting competition, are they barbaric? Are fighting competitions barbaric? We're not gonna talk about that.
Right, are they barbaric or is it a sport, right?
Yeah, we're not going to talk about that, though.
I think in this time period, you can look into it farther. Like, Star Trek's a little prophetic usually, right?
Oh, yeah, always.
Now, I mean, you can compare it to football now.
Yeah, where, like...
How it's dangerous and...
It's unbelievably dangerous to your brain that's in your head.
Yeah, and how people are just, like, kind of ignoring that, and they're like, whatever, I like it.
Yeah, there's this whole contingency of people who are just like, well, fuck their brains. I need to get my Sunday fix.
I'm one of them, I admit it. Go Eagles. Don't scramble your brains, boys.
Yeah, where's some more padding under that fucking
I think it would be better if, instead of hitting people with their helmet, they threw down and just fucked on the field.
Yeah, fuck your football rivals.
Yeah, fuck them, like, literally.
Here's something that I just thought about, right? Is all of fan fiction in all of the world is made up of rivals from things, characters who hate each other, and then people are like, they gotta fuck, so I'm gonna write them fucking.
Is that it? Is that all of it?
Yeah, like, if you look up the most popular, like, fan fiction coupling from literally anything, it's characters who, like, hate each other.
Right.
Or who, like, butt heads but secretly like each other.
Yeah.
Like, Walt and Matthias.
Oh, right, you told me about the Walt Matthias fanfic.
So, people do, like, gross, creepy-ass fan fiction about real-life people, too. How come not football rivals? How come the football teams aren't fucking on the field?
Well, you'd have to, like, personify them, right?
Well, they do that with... I guess you could personify the team, and it wouldn't be creepy. Like,
I guess you could use players, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering. This is a stupid question.
Anyway. That's because football fans don't... They're not sexually awakened yet.
All football fans are?
All of them. Every single one of them. That's my Josh Henderson blanket statement of the week. Brought to you by Redheads. We're the greatest. We're better than everybody.
It's a good thing we don't edit this.
It gets edited, never.
This like I said, this episode doesn't settle on a moral until the very end, and it's like, killing's bad.
Yeah, which, like, no shit. Way to go out on a limb on that one. Killing's bad? Oh.
Right out the gate, I want to point out, before we even get into the episode proper, how little, like, research these Starfleet officers do about this sport. They just go to it and start cheering, like, yeah, this is awesome.
They're so horny for R&R that they're like, I don't even give a shit. Fucking, I don't know who's running this league. It's gotta be legit. Because, like, and it's like the Federation, they're, like, naive, right? It's that like, they're like, well, in the Federation, it would just be fine, right? Like, there wouldn't be anything wrong.
Could you imagine how bad shit would have gone if, like, Chakotay and, like, B'Elanna were just, like, cheering at a match, like, yay, 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 and one of them just, like, ripped the other one's head off and held it up? Yeah,
where's that part of the episode, though? Like, where's the part where, like somebody, like, sleeper holds somebody to death and just snaps their neck, and they're like, oh
no,
oh my god,
what have we done? There's a
what
there's a what have we done kind of moment where Chakotay's or Neelix is like, I can't believe these people cheer for like all this brutality and murder and everything, and Chakotay's like, if it wasn't for 7 of 9 showing up, we would have continued to do that.
Yeah, you were doing it.
Yeah, talk about that more. Let's get into that. Let's fucking open that can of worms. I want more of that.
But also, like, they weren't going to the red matches, the death matches. Like, they just didn't go to those. Like, how is that a thing?
Yeah, they've been going for, like, 2 days at that point. Like,
they're so fucking horny for it. Like, you think they would have seen one.
Hey, you want to go to the red match or the blue match today? Let's check out this red match. I don't know what that's
red
about.
means. Yeah, and then you go and some dude is just getting fucking murdered, and you're like, oh, I get it.
You go to the red match and like Scorpion and Sub-Zero come out, and you're like, oh.
And that fucking rad song plays. Fuck, dude.
Dude, that would have made a better episode.
Dude, I'd have been like, all right. Yo, this is a sort of a tangent.
I'll go for it.
A tangent that is like matters to us. We should watch that for Jeff and Josh talk over movies.
Oh, dude, that would be great. I'd love to.
I fucking love that movie.
It's a great popcorn flick.
Is it the best video game movie ever made?
Man, video game movies are such garbage. Probably.
That's what I mean. Like, it's gotta be, right? Like, it's up there. Like, for sure. Like, what's the better one?
I can't.
I don't know.
Like
Lara Croft, maybe.
Yeah, that one's all right. That's a pretty okay one. Like the Resident Evil movies don't have anything to do with those games. So
no, those are. I don't think those count. I think those.
It's just a whole different thing, right?
Yeah, it's stupid. I think those are dumb.
The game kind of like weirdly took after the movies a little bit after a certain period of time because like the movies are like cool. Your games are normally about like regular people versus zombies, but what if like one of the regular people was like a super zombie human?
Yeah, what if there's like a corporation, right?
Oh, that was in the game, but
they're evil. That was in the game?
Yeah,
but it wasn't that wasn't originally, was it?
Yeah, they had like the mansion had like a sub basement that was like Umbrella Corporation shit.
I literally played that game in 1998. I have no memory.
I played a lot of Resident Evil for not really being all that into the series.
Yeah, it's fun spooky times.
Yeah, I like to be a spooked.
What about Mario Brothers?
Dude, that movie is like so enjoyable for how bad it is, though.
Oh,
like,
God, I know.
It's a really terrible movie, but fuck if I don't love watching it.
It's a time capsule, that's why. It's like from a time period that it'll never happen again.
It's like a cyberpunk movie with the Mario Brothers.
Yeah, they have like rocket boots and shit. It's like, what?
Dude, I fucking love
that's how they jump?
Scene,
oh, okay.
Where they play those dope jams in the club.
Like, couldn't they have just gone to a magical kingdom that makes them jump high?
No,
like,
they gotta have rocket boots.
Rocket boots, there it is.
They should have just...
Problem solved.
If you wanted to, like, really sci-fi that shit and not just be like, oh, they're in a magical land where they can jump, do it like John Carter, where, like, the gravity's lower.
God. Oh, God, that movie is so bad. My favorite part of that movie is when he goes back to Earth after being on Mars for question marks amount of time.
His skeleton's there and has a beard.
Skeleton with a beard. Fucking skeleton with a fucking beard.
Oh my god.
Oh, now I know how long he's been there. That skeleton has a beard. Thank you, movie makers.
He grew
a long time.
He grew a beard and then died and decomposed. And then the skeleton had time to grow a beard afterwards.
So that's at least like 3 months.
Oh yeah, 3 months.
Yeah, it's like at least 3 months.
I've never felt like I was watching the prequels more than when I watched John Carter of Mars.
That movie is so bad. That movie sucks. It's like, fucking 2.5 hours of shit.
Like, I've never felt that same feeling with a different movie. Like, the prequels have this feeling to them where you know they're bad. Yeah. And there are parts that are completely unwatchable, but you just still watch. You still feel compelled.
You're watching them.
And I felt that way with John Carter of Mars until like towards the end when I was just like, I don't give a fuck about this.
I couldn't even tell you how it ends. I don't remember.
I don't remember.
Do they win Mars or whatever?
He he goes back to Earth and there's a skeleton there with a beard.
That's where my brain stops the movie, because that's the first time I saw it. I like laughed uncontrollably. I was just alone and I was laughing because of how stupid that is.
I think I did crack up when I saw that, because I was like,
I paused it and I was just saying to myself, like, you got to be kidding me. Like, nobody was here. I was just talking to myself saying, you've got to be fucking kidding me.
I think I tweeted that it was like I got the prequels feeling for the first time since I was 12 or however fucking old I was when I watched the prequels.
You were 12?
No. The prequel, it came out in 99, didn't it?
I was 16. I went to see it. I was 16.
Well, I was 3 years younger than you, so I was 13.
So you were 13.
Yeah.
Cool.
Old ass man. And with that,
back in my day, we took commercial breaks.
We're gonna go to a commercial break where hopefully we'll have a good and/or service to shill. Probably not though, since it's like 100 years of this podcast, we haven't got one yet.
We'll be back and turn into skeletons with beards, Lady Guinan.
Right after these messages.
Are you the Crypt Keeper? Oh, we're gonna get sued.
After the messages, we'll be right back.
It's Johnny. He's gonna play Simon. Nobody beats Simon. I want you, Simon.
Simon is the challenge you've been waiting for, because it takes coordination of hand and mind just to play the game. And if you get very good at Simon, great rewards await you.
Thank you, Simon.
Simon is waiting for you, from Milton Bradley.
Back to the show.
And we're back from those messages with more M-Class goodness. We're spinning the oldies all night here in the studio. Just call in at 1-800-FAKE number and get your favorites.
Fake number. The number is spelled like NEMBR.
Yeah, I was spinning off the dome, man. I was trying.
That was good.
So let's just go ahead and jump into our retrospective of this episode, our little walkthrough we always do for some reason. I started doing it, and that's what we do.
That's how it works around here. This episode rules.
It's one way to look at it.
It starts off, and I'm jacked the flip up about this shit.
It starts off in, like, there's an arena. It's like the tiniest arena you've ever seen in your life, and it's got like a Simon board around it.
It looks like a Simon, like really big. Like
it's a big Simon. It's even got the 4 quadrants like a Simon.
It's a Simon. Like,
do kids
I think
today
somebody
know what a Simon is?
I hope they do. If not, look up Simon puzzle toy or something.
Yeah,
and
Simon
you know what
toy.
You know what it is. It's in every game ever. There's some version of a Simon puzzle in every like RPG game ever made.
I always wanted a Simon.
I had one.
Damn, did you have a Bop It?
I did not have a Bop It. I had a Simon and I hated it. It was stupid.
I used to play with my friend Simon, and I would get like super far in it to the point where the machine starts like specifically
Cheating. Yeah.
trying to fuck you over.
Yeah, you have to be like a wizard or something to get it.
You gotta cast deft hands on yourself.
That was my Simon impression.
Bop It got like that too. I was never super good at my friend's Bop It.
No,
like,
Bop It was like an extra added thing because you had to know which one was which.
Yeah.
It was much harder. Like colors, like most of us can see them.
I could see the Simon colors at least.
I won't name any names.
Thank you, Simon, for being super fucking bright colors and not just choosing the same hue of blue and purple.
Blue, red, yellow, green, was that what it was?
I think it would be... Well, there are people who can't see the difference between
blue
red
and
green.
red.
I'm not one
red
of
and
them,
green, yeah.
but...
I think Nick can't.
Like, mine is just blue and purple. Like, some shades of blue and purple are similar. I usually get, like, a 95 out of 100% on those tests, where I'm only, like, 5% colorblind.
Yeah. I mean, I was, like, real blind for a lot of my life, so I don't really have a lot of sympathy.
I wear glasses, so fuck your eyes. I don't give a shit. Some people are real blind forever, but you don't
Forever blind. I know. I know. That sucks.
Yeah.
I think I
Shit
could
can
be
get
fine.
worse for everybody, unfortunately.
It can always get worse. It can always get worse.
Anyway, this isn't the Simon cast yet.
That's next week.
The place is just full of aliens, and there's Starfleet people there as well. You can see them in the distance.
Yeah, they kind of like, it's kind of like a pseudo reveal, because you're like, oh, where are we? Like, we're obviously not on a ship.
Yeah.
Or we're not, well, we think we're not, but we're not on like a starship, like a Federation ship.
Yeah, it's not the Voyager. Where the hell is this?
Yeah, what is this? And there's like cool, like, like UFC logos everywhere.
Like alien language UFC logos.
Yeah. Chains on the wall. Like, what is that?
Yeah, it's really like everything that someone would imagine a future arena would look like, except super small.
I think they, like, UFC was around at this point, so they probably just looked at a UFC ring back when it was an octagon, right? Like, it used to be.
It always had the chain link around it, right?
No, it did. It used to not, I think. I'm not an expert, but I believe it did.
Everything about UFC.
I think it used to be ropes, like it was just ropes.
Josh Rogan over here, he knows everything.
Yes,
about
me and I'm going to be on the Joe Rogan podcast next week, where I'm going to be talking about how Simon is an alien abduction tool or something.
That sounds like you should be on Mulder's podcast.
Fucking dude, I would love to be on Mulder's podcast.
That would be a great gag, though, wouldn't it? To do a podcast that, like a conspiracy podcast, as if it was hosted by Fox Mulder.
It would be amazing if at some point, like, Joe Rogan was on the X-Files as Joe Rogan and Mulder went on his podcast. That would be incredible.
Fuck Joe Rogan. I don't give a shit.
I don't mind Joe Rogan that. I think Joe Rogan is annoying, but like, I think it would be great if Mulder was on there. I would love that.
I would watch that episode if the character Fox Mulder was on
character
it.
Mulder, not David Duchovny. I don't care what David Duchovny has to say.
David Duchovny doing season 3000 of Californication. I don't know what he's doing with his life.
I don't know what he's up to.
Side note, every couple episodes, Scully seems to get hotter in X-Files.
Yeah. No, they realize that, like, they can make her not, like, matronly at some point. They realize that, like, what's her name? God, why can't I fucking think
Gillian
of her name?
Anderson.
Gillian Anderson is actually beautiful, and they were like, oh, wow, we can maybe make her look like she's beautiful.
Like, I can't pinpoint what it is, because she was very matronly in, like, season 1 and part of season 2.
She's like Clarice Starling, like, I think that's what they were going for.
Like, season 2, like 2.5 to, like, I'm halfway through, almost at the end of season 3. Yeah. Like, she suddenly just, every few episodes, it's like a leap in technology of her hotness. They get, like, a 2.0 Scully.
Yeah, they bust out, like, the makeup.
And weirdly enough, David Duchovny gets slightly weirder looking every couple episodes.
I think he's hot.
He fills out a Speedo, I guess.
I mean, I think he's hot because, like, I want to hang out with him on his podcast, so...
I want to go on to the Joe Rogan podcast with him?
Yeah, I'm going to be his, like, handler. You know, there's always, like, the guy who's talking about the thing, and then there's always, like, the agent is there.
Oh, yeah, there was an episode of, or there was a few episodes of Best of the Worst that have Macaulay Culkin on them.
Yeah.
And there's just some guy there that they never introduce. He's just...
Yeah, it's weird.
At least introduce him to me. Who the fuck is this man?
If he's gonna be there, I want to know who he is, yeah.
Anyway.
It's like when you order, like, a stripper and they come with, like, a security guard. I mean, I've never done that, but, like, I've heard about it.
Does the security guard strip?
Unfortunately, no. That's extra, I think.
That is a waste of money, then, sir.
Yeah, what am I paying for? I mean, I didn't do it.
I'm so used to, like, if somebody shows up in a guard uniform or a police uniform, they usually strip, right?
Yeah, it's getting stripped down.
That's what TV teaches me.
Yeah, pretty much.
Do you remember, there's a good episode, since we're doing Tangent Cast right now.
Yeah, fuck it.
There's a great episode of Friends. Friends usually super mediocre, right?
Yeah,
there's a great episode of Friends where Danny DeVito is a stripper.
What is with this Danny DeVito shit this week? Have you been on the internet this week?
Danny DeVito's all over the internet every week.
Yeah, but now it's like he's like sexy on Reddit. Everything's a Danny DeVito is the sexiest guy joke.
Well,
and I didn't know. I actually don't remember.
In the episode, Phoebe, they order a stripper for Phoebe, right?
Right.
And they have to order like a cheap one because they don't have money, even though they live in the most expensive apartment.
They live in like a $5 million Manhattan apartment.
That's why they don't have any money, I guess. And Danny DeVito shows up and he does his stripper thing and he acts all sexy, but then they don't buy it. They don't dig it. They're like disgusted. He gets fucking mad. He's basically like holding them hostage with his emotions.
What? This happened on the show.
This happens on the show. Like, he's like, you hate what I'm doing. You think I'm hideous. And they're like, no, it's okay. He's like, God. I'm going home and I'm going to kill myself. And they're like, no, wait.
What the fuck?
But they make him feel sexy by the end.
And that's good.
He continues being a stripper.
Is that him just... I'm pushing a cat off the table. Is that him, like, rehearsing for like his role as Frank on It's Always Sunny?
Maybe. They could have been the same character, like, before Frank, like, really went over the fucking
Is that like a, like, did we just, like, write, like, a tie-in, like, they happen in the same universe?
You know, somebody was pointing out that whole thing where it's, like, every show is connected.
Yeah.
But, like, none of these shows claim to be in an alternate universe. They're all supposed to be in ours.
Yeah, well, I remember when Friends, like when 9/11 happened, they were like, "We're not gonna talk about it." And it's
you live right next to that shit.
Yeah, you probably would have seen it. Central Perk probably got like fucking destroyed.
Yeah,
dude.
For sure. I guess that wasn't lighthearted enough for the Friends.
Yeah, people didn't want to relive it. I guess
Phoebe was having her brother's kids at the time, so.
Giovanni Ribisi and Eric Foreman's mom.
Yeah, Eric Foreman's mom, yeah.
Yeah, weird.
I can't believe you remember Giovanni Ribisi's name. I only know that because he was on X-Files the other day.
Oh, he's in everything, dude. He's been around. He's in everything.
He's a character actor that's in everything, for sure.
He dies in Saving Private Ryan. He dies horribly.
Yeah, oh god, yeah. Well, he plays like a yokel that has like lightning powers in
That's
X-Files.
right, at the arcade, right? And he zaps who's the bad guy in that? It's like somebody else.
No, he is the bad guy. He zaps the girl he likes husband.
Yeah, the friend is
Jack Black.
Jack Black, yeah.
And he's doing like Jack Black shit. Like he's supposed to be a serious character, but he's doing Jack Black acting.
Yeah, remember when Jack Black was in The Jackal, that movie with Bruce Willis?
No.
That movie rules. It's a great 90s action movie. It's awesome. And Jack Black is in it for like one scene.
There was a thing in the 90s where like every big action star had to have like a comedian sidekick.
Yeah, they had to like have to deal with like a small puppy dog sidekick.
I think that was like a Rush Hour thing. Or was Rush Hour like the culmination of all of it?
Maybe?
Judge Dredd had Rob Schneider.
Yeah. Yeah.
Remember when Rob Schneider was a thing? Talk about fucking dark times.
I remember him in Surf Ninjas. We should also watch that on
Surf
other
Ninjas
thing we do.
A great movie.
Remember when he's in that and they do moto surf? Remember when they try to make moto surfing a thing?
No, I don't. I blocked it from my memory.
They go
watch Encino Man.
Oh fuck yes. Pauly Shore Jr. I mean, Rob Schneider Jr. Pauly Shore.
I would watch a million like if I went to hell and they gave me a choice between watching Pauly Shore forever or Rob Schneider, I would watch Pauly Shore happily. They would have to like send me to double hell because I was enjoying it too much.
In the army now.
Biodome, of course.
Biodome is so bad.
Biodome, which made an appearance in the M-Class crossover special that probably hasn't come out yet because shit's really going down for everybody right now.
That's right. Shit's really going down for everybody right now.
Yeah. Anyway, since we haven't gone any length into this episode whatsoever yet, 2 aliens come out. One that we haven't seen before. It's just like a weirdo alien lady.
He's like Cardassian-ish.
It's kinda true. It is a guy as well, yeah. He's just like got long, beautiful locks.
Yeah, he looks like they were like, quick, make an alien, and the Cardassian guy was on duty that day, and he was like, I only know how to do Cardassians, but I guess
just do that and don't give him the forehead thing. Don't give him the spoon.
Yeah, don't give him the spoon. And then
Isn't Jeffrey Combs also this type of alien?
No, he's more like his face is smooth, or
That's true.
and he's got like weird chin jowls.
It's true. Like, Jeffrey Combs' character has like a Fu Manchu, and you can see the plastic around it.
Oh, it goes like through. Yeah, it goes like through his face. They do that sometimes, where they make aliens have hair that like goes into their face holes. And you're like, what?
You can see the edges of the plastic appliance around it the whole time, and I couldn't stop staring at it.
That's rude, Jeff. That's racist.
That was super rude of me. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, unnamed alien character.
Yeah,
Wait, his name's
apologize.
like Fang or something.
It's like Pink or something. Like, not like pink.
We'll find out when I scroll down far enough on Memory Alpha to get
I just fucking had it up. Where is it? Pink. Yeah, Pink. I was right.
Penk, right?
Yeah, like Pink, the singer from Doylestown, Pennsylvania.
From where?
Doylestown. Bucks County. That's where Pink is from.
Well, that's cool. Pink's cool. Not this Pink. The real Pink.
The real Pink.
And a Hirogen guy comes out. We've seen Hirogen before, and we, of course, we all love them.
Yeah, we love them. They're the greatest villains in this show.
They're hunters, and
Year
that's
of Hell. They're like predators.
And then they fight, right? And they have like little electrical discs on their feet and hands, because you can't just fight to the death. You got to make it sci-fi, right?
Yeah, it's got to be futuristic.
And the Hirogen wins. He beats up the no-name alien, because of course he does, right? But the crowd like loses it, and we learn the cheer we're gonna hear 9 million times in this episode: Tsunkatse.
Tsunkatse. Yeah, they go crazy
because they love the blood.
I wonder what it means.
Probably nothing, because it's supposed to be an alien language, right? But it's super vaguely Japanese.
Yeah. What if it means like blowjob?
That's probably what it means.
Let's just go with that.
Soon is in. Let's dig back into the teenage Jeff Weebu phase, because I know a few Japanese things because of it.
Okay.
I know the word tsundere, which is like a girl who's like a bitch to you, but she really loves you.
Oh.
And it's got soon at the beginning in the same way.
Tsundere.
Yeah. So, and pardon my pronunciation of that. I'm not a weeb anymore, so I can't pronounce things correctly.
I mean, I don't know how to say it, so I'm gonna go with it's perfectly fine.
Josh rolled on it, so no one can ever say anything against me.
Yeah, I'm always right. Get on my level.
Get on my level.
Tsunkatse. No, I don't.
Oh my god.
What was it from?
It's a song called "Get on My Level" by the fucking, I don't remember. Lil Jon is in the song, but he was in every song at the time.
Okay.
We go back to Voyager. We finally see Voyager. Well, first we see that Chakotay and B'Elanna are there, and they're cheering this fucking murder sport, right?
Yeah.
And we go back to the Voyager, and we find Janeway is like leaving. She's going on vacation.
It's fucking like shore leave time.
And apparently, like, people are super shocked if you're gonna do anything scientific while you're on shore leave.
Bunch of fucking nerds doing homework on their vacation.
Why don't you go to Ryza? Oh yeah, I guess we
can't.
can't.
There's no fuck planet here.
But she's gonna visit some planet somewhere. No one cares, and she tells Chakotay to take care of the ship.
Yeah.
And B'Elanna is like, "Hey, you gonna go to the match later?"
Yeah.
And Chakotay's like, "No, I gotta work." And she's like, "Oh, you should make some underling do your work for you." Ha ha ha.
Yeah, haha. It's funny.
Because she's dumb and doesn't realize she's an underling.
Yeah.
Also, it's an engineering problem. Who did you think it was gonna be?
Who's gonna do it? I wonder.
Neelix, take care of this for me, right?
Right.
But they go to the kitchen. They find Neelix with his gross Jello in a bowl with a light in it.
Yeah, it's like piss yellow Jello.
There's definitely there's a market for things that rhyme. No matter
Piss
what
yellow
they
Jello.
are.
Yeah.
But there's definitely a light underneath it, so it's like glowing piss yellow Jello.
Yeah, he got sunburned. He went onto the beach and got all sunburned. And it's funny because it's like, we get sunburned, get it?
Haha, he got super sunburned, and now he's using Leola root again, because that's all he ever uses for everything.
That's his fucking bit? I don't know. Is that a thing?
But he sucks a lot, so it's not working, and he's stupid.
It doesn't work. Yeah, it doesn't work out right.
Get it? He's stupid. Isn't that funny?
Kitchen rat, dumb.
Isn't that funny? I fucking hate Neelix.
They make a joke before this where they're like, the captain's like, Neelix is trying to upgrade the stove burners with Borg technology. Watch out. We're gonna assimilate the ship.
For what? Like, what could Borg technology do to stove burners?
It's a stove. It's like the oldest piece of technology ever.
Heat comes out of it.
It's literally like the first thing humans invented on Earth. Like, what could you do to it?
Like, it heats your food up. And also, like, there are, like, generators that make anything on your ship?
Yeah, just make another stove if you don't like your stove.
Oh, my God. Anyway.
Make a different one.
The less said about Neelix, the better.
Let's move on. I hate him.
They invite him to the matches, but he can't go because he's got a dumb sunburn.
Sure. This is the plot. This is literally like plot points of this episode.
Yeah,
like,
he got a sunburn, so he can't go.
Can't go watch fights.
7 of 9 and Tuvok, the boringest people, are gonna go do homework on their time off. They're doing the summer reading.
Nebula.
They're doing the summer reading in the first month. Like,
yeah, they're gonna forget by the time September rolls around.
But they're 7 of 9 is like, oh, that's the Tsunkatse is crude and pointless. It's barbaric.
Yeah,
and Torres is like, fuck you, Borg.
Damn.
And everybody kind of like takes a step back, like, whoa.
That was super racist.
Chakotay invites Tuvok, because Tuvok likes martial arts.
Yeah,
he's
he
like,
likes... Yeah.
He's like, nah, we're going to go do nerd shit in the nebula.
Yeah, we're going to go be nerds. Also, man, I'm a real big nerd going to this secluded area with the hottest chick on the ship. Wow, what a nerd. I'm a big nerd. Later, nerds.
Hey, cameraman, don't follow us.
Yeah. Or do.
Whatever the people at home want to see. She mentions that she and Tuvok don't require recreation, right?
That's right, because they're like robots, basically.
Basically. And B'Elanna's like, oh, well, the Borg wouldn't know fun if they assimilated a theme park or something.
Yeah, I thought a funny line would have been for her to say, we have done that.
Yeah, we have assimilated a theme park. We understand fun in 137 different ways.
Or yeah, like we've assimilated over 137 theme parks or something like that. That would have been really funny.
But instead, we don't get any yucks.
No, it's just dumb.
Chakotay's like, yeah, you nerds go do your fucking nerd shit, whatever.
Yeah, we're gonna go watch some fights with my bros, right, bros?
There's like a part, we're gonna get to it in a minute, and I'll talk about it then, but there's a part where like everybody becomes like meatheads for a second.
Yeah, the part where they're like talking about the fighting. I think like it was supposed to be like a commentary about human like barbaric nature of humans, or like the fighting competitiveness of humans or something.
It may have been. That may
I'm
have been
not
what they
sure.
were going for. I think you may be giving them a little bit more credit than they deserve for that.
I probably am.
I think they just thought it was funny.
It's dumb. Like, it's not done well. Like, it's sort of done stupidly.
Yeah. Oh, dude, I forgot this scene existed. I just watched this like an hour ago.
Yeah, that's what this show does to you.
7 of 9 goes to the shuttle bay, and like Tom Parrish shows up, and he's like,
"Oh, this part, yeah."
He's like, Torres overpacked stuff as well. This is what I'm talking about. Where
am I right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
This is what I'm talking about though, where the show keeps like driving by plot points and just leaving them,
It
like,
misses
morals
them.
and stuff.
It doesn't like stick to one.
Like this whole scene is supposed to set up like, oh, you're not so different than Balana. Like
Right.
you guys have a lot in common. But
Right,
they don't
but-
do anything with that. in
It
this
comes
episode.
off now as him just being like weirdly kind of sexist in a weird way.
He's like, oh, you women, you're always
Right.
overpacking.
And he says something that I thought was great though, and that made me want it. He says that Balana packs a stuffed targ named Toby the Targ.
Toby the Targ.
And I was like,
adorable.
I fucking want a Toby the Targ. I was like, I want that.
Please, Balana, give me a Toby the Targ.
What if I bet somebody on Etsy has a Toby the Targ.
I don't doubt it. Like, Voyager is huge right now. Like, everybody is talking about how great Voyager is.
Here's one. I found a picture of it.
Already?
Yeah, man. Here's a picture.
Damn.
Is it from the show? Oh, he must be in the show, dude.
Toby the Targ is in the show?
They show him at some point.
Oh
Look
my
at
God.
him. He's adorable.
I have to look that up when we're done.
Targs are not adorable, by the way.
No. Targs are horrific monsters.
Yeah. You can make it. What is this? You can make one. It shows you how to do it.
Oh, yeah? Crystal. My wife Crystal actually saw in Breath of the Wild in the Zelda game that they have these like sand seal plushes in
Oh, yeah.
one of the ladies' rooms. And she saw that they were like $90 to buy or whatever on Etsy.
Oh.
So she just made one, and it's fun. It's like picture perfect, dude. It looks
Can she
amazing.
make Toby the Targs?
I'll have to ask her.
Please, God.
Crystal, you might be listening to this. Can you make me a Toby the Targ?
Can we have Toby the Targs, Crystal? If we're good for Christmas.
Please, for Christmas.
I'll
Two
go to
Toby the
sleep.
Targs, please.
I'll go to sleep early. I won't even wake up and try to sneak down and look at the presents.
If you're Santa, we'll pretend not to see you. Come in.
Oh, by the way, guys, I'm coming over to your house for Christmas this year.
That's fine. It's enough heads up.
And by coming over, I mean living with you forever. Okay, see you then.
Well, our address is 123 Fake Street. I'll see you then.
I already knew that.
So Tuvok and 7 and 9 head out for their nerd date.
Uh-huh.
And there's a moment where 7 of 9 is like, the doctor says that like I should talk during awkward silences.
Right.
And Tuvok is like, well, did you find the silence awkward? She says no. And he says, well, I didn't either. And this is another one of those drive-by moments.
Right.
Like, is the moral of this episode that you should be yourself regardless of what people like say you should be like?
Right.
Is the moral that like it's okay to like sit in silence with someone you're friends with? You don't have to feel the silence.
Yeah.
But no, they don't touch on that ever again.
It's like kind of a cool moment, but like I agree with you. Like it doesn't come back as payoff later. It kind of does at the end.
I'm interested in how you can link this.
It kind of does at the end when he comes back to Astrometrics and he's talking to her, in that they're both in the same room together.
Josh, did you write this episode?
Yes. My name is David Kenny or whatever the fuck.
You missed Gannon. You remembered Kenny, but not Gannon.
David Kenny is the name of my middle school band teacher. That's why.
Dang, good memory.
Yeah, that's why I went there, I guess. And my one friend who might listen to this used to sing a song that went DK Donkey Kong Dave Kenny Trio, and he would play it like on his saxophone and sing it. I don't know. It was just funny.
Everything's funny when you play it on a saxophone.
It is when you play it badly too, like really loud and obnoxiously. So a saxophone.
I love a sax. I love the premarital sax.
Premarital sax. Yes.
That's a callback to a joke from Discord when I was on it last. Or no, it wasn't on Discord. It was on Bam's stream.
Oh.
There was a big joke about premarital sex that I made there, and it killed. Don't go look it up on his.
Well, it killed
blog.
again. I mean, I think you got something here.
It killed.
I think you're onto something.
I think that's in the movie St. Elmo's Fire.
That wasn't a saxophone though. It was a guitar.
That's a great song, though.
It is. It is.
But like, they don't ever come back to that. That's just whatever. And there's like a vessel that shows up that won't answer their hails and sends out like a dampening field that completely shuts their ship down, which is like crazy high technology.
Yeah, like this is like a shuttlecraft. Like it's pretty decent, right? Like it's not shitty.
Oh yeah, like never before has anything completely shut down everything in a shuttlecraft that I can remember.
Useful tool to have.
Yeah, they don't even have to shoot them or anything. Usually you've got to like knock out the power like manually with phasers or something, but they just like press a button and it shuts everything down.
Yeah, they got that pirate button. It's got a big skull and crossbones on it. Hit the pirate button. We're doing some pirating.
And they beam on a bomb, which seems counterintuitive.
It seems dumb.
Yeah.
Like, why would you, like, why do that?
You're
I mean, I
trying
guess
to get
the
fighters. You're trying to get fighters for your dumb war games, right?
Right.
And if you put a bomb off, they get hurt by the bomb, dude.
Yeah, I guess it's like a flash bomb, but like maybe
It
like
burns the hell out of Tuvok.
yeah, like did they not think that maybe one of them was going to go near the bomb to look at it? Like, why would you do that? Why don't you just?
I don't know if it's. It seems like it might be a flash bomb, right? But like even 7 of 9, who's like all the way across the room from it, has like holes blown in her that you could see the text shit.
Oh yeah, she's got the arm, like the arm piece of her arm is missing. I think that's cool.
I do too. I thought that was really good makeup.
Yeah, it was good. Why didn't they just like make the oxygen not be in the ship and then beam them onto their
Why
ship?
didn't they just beam them onto the ship into a cage?
Oh wait, that's even better. You don't have to do any of these other steps.
But it had to be more dramatic. So there's a bomb.
That's right. The bomb had to be
bomb on it.
The bomb had to go off so that there's a choice to be made.
It's a bomb.
Sex
Everybody
bomb.
runs screaming. So Tuvok gets exploderated, and when 7 wakes up, she's in probably like the cheapest set to ever make, right? Because it's obviously made out of parts of Deep Space Nine.
It looks like Deep Space Nine, like a storage room, but they like lit it a little differently.
It's like super brightly lit. Besides that, it's like it's a little like the room that they fight in from the racist episode of TNG. What's the Code of Honor?
Oh yeah,
It looks a little like that as well. So it's definitely reused components.
it looks like an office building from just like an office down the hall. That's what it looks like.
Except it has metal barracks in it.
Yeah,
It's got like beds that are made out of like truck liner.
so an office building.
Dude, I would have loved for there to be beds in the offices I worked in.
There was a couch at Gamervision, and I would sleep on it a lot. Not like overnight, but like after work if I missed the window to drive home.
Yeah, if you were a sleepy boy and you had to wait for the traffic to die down.
I would take a little nap and wake up and go home.
You were a sleepy baby.
I'm just a sleepy boy. One time I was sleeping in there, and a bunch of people came in and jumped on me, and I was like, leave me alone!
Great. That's great. They got you good.
I was like, fuck you!
But there's a bunch of people in those outfits that we saw the Hirogen and the guy totally dunked on earlier in the episode. Including the Hirogen is there. Yeah. And this like gross Fu Manchu man comes in.
Pink.
And he says, welcome to Tsunkatse. You're a fighter for me now. I kidnapped you and you have to fight, like in all those other shows where this happens.
Pirate rules. I'm in charge. Do the fighting.
How often does this happen and stuff? Where,
It's
like,
a trope. It's like a thing.
people get kidnapped and then they have to fight in an arena. I guess that's what
Conan the Barbarian.
I guess that's what like the arenas were like during
Well, it's like the
Grecian
Colosseum.
and Roman
Yeah.
times.
Oh yeah,
so,
the Colosseum was just slaves fighting.
Yeah. So I guess it's not really a trope if it actually happened and you're just telling stories that involve that.
Yeah,
so.
but it's a gladiator, right? Like it's a good storytelling device.
It instantly puts you on the side of the person who got kidnapped.
Yeah,
like, you already have a protagonist right out
It's
the gate.
very simple, cut and dry, good and bad.
You know what's a plot line that doesn't get used enough for my tastes?
What's that?
Is when the main character has a curse of some sort.
Curse.
And it's like they have a timeline before the curse kills them
Like
or does
Thinner?
something horrible.
Like Thinner.
No, sort of. Thinner might not be the best example. Because
okay, what about like?
I'm
that
thinking
movie...
about. Did you ever see Princess Mononoke?
Yeah,
it's like the gross eel tentacle shit that the main dude has that he has to get rid of, or else it's gonna envelope his whole body and eat him.
I was thinking of that movie Crank, where he's got that bomb in his chest.
Yeah, and he has to like fuck real good.
Yeah, he has to fuck on the dog track or horse track or whatever it is.
Yeah, and he has to shock his nipples. You know that movie was made so somebody could yank it, right? Like,
oh yeah, no, yeah. That was like that movie was made just for like I don't even know. They were just like, let's just do this, and then what's his name was like, oh, it sounds good.
Yeah, Jason Statham like wrote and directed. He's like, this one's for me.
This one's for Jason.
This one's what I'm gonna watch when I go home at night.
When I go home, I'm gonna crank it to crank.
I did the voice of a character on Tipon's Theater on Subspace, the show that's based on our show that you can get on SoundCloud and shit now if you look it up.
Uh-huh.
It's a free plug. Give me money, guys. I did a voice of a character on that who was like the Klingon who was trying to take a ship from you from Drac.
Yeah.
And I did Jason Statham's voice. I was like, yeah, Drac, what are you gonna do about
That's great.
it? And then Axe Wizard, who does all the art for it, did the art without hearing my voice, and I did the voice without doing his, seeing his art.
Oh, that's so weird.
No, he drew him as Hulk Hogan.
Oh, he did it different. I thought he was just drawing like Jason Statham. That's funny.
So when I saw it, I was like, ah, man, I fucked up.
But it was just like British Hulk Hogan.
It's Jason Statham.
All right, see you next week, everybody. The episode's not getting better than that.
I don't think the dude does introduce himself, right? No, they're like,
they're straight to business or whatever.
7 is like, I demand to see Tuvok, my new boyfriend, right?
Yeah, my new shuttle boyfriend. Sure.
We did hand stuff on the shuttle, so now we're boyfriend and girlfriend.
We humped over the clothes. We did some DH,
some dry humping.
Some dry humping. Yeah,
and so they drag Tuvok in, who's like dying. He's just covered in explosive holes.
Yeah, he's super bad shape. Which like good job with the bomb. Set us up the bomb.
Oh man, now we're never gonna get any better. Night, everybody.
Remember that? Remember that shit from the
original meme?
That was like 2000.
He says like nothing is more important than the comfort and happiness of his fighters, and like everybody starts laughing.
Yeah, they're like, Pink, you're fucking ridiculous, son.
The Hirogen introduces him. He's like, Pink's generosity is legendary, and they're all like,
yeah, they all laugh.
Which is like, they're slaves. They should not be like that.
Yeah, but what's he gonna do, you know? Make him fight to the death?
Exactly. If I was him, I would jump out and kill Pink and then grab his gun.
Yeah, I would try to do that,
this is me. But 7 and 9's like, I'm not gonna march to your drum, man.
Yeah, I'm not doing it. But then Pink's
I'm not a part of your system.
I threw it on the ground.
But Tuvok's gonna die.
My dad's not a phone. Duh.
7 and 9's like, hey, if you gotta help him, right? Are you gonna help him or what? And Pink's like, will you fight?
Yeah, he says that he's gonna make Tuvok fight if she won't.
Yeah.
And he'll fucking die, so.
Although it's like clumsy the way it's done. Like it should be like, if you won't fight, then I'll set up Tuvok for a red match, right?
Right, and
but
then
instead he's just like, set up Tuvok for a red match and set her up for a blue match.
Right.
And I'm like, I don't know what any of this means yet. Like, what are you talking about?
And then later the guy's like, a red match is like fight to the death, which like, obviously.
Well, sorry, I'm too dumb, Josh.
Somebody watched The Matrix and was like, red pill, blue pill? I'm using it. Write it down. David Kenny was like, write that down. That's
David Kenny. Ganon from Legend of Zelda was like, write that down.
Red pill, blue pill.
I love The Matrix.
Did somebody say The Matrix? That's my favorite book.
Did you? Oh my god! Did you ever watch the Legend of Zelda cartoon? The Excuse
Yeah,
Me,
oh yeah,
Princess?
I used to love it when I was a kid, but it's so dumb.
I used to love it when I was a kid too. It's terrible.
It's
but
fucking
like,
awful. Yeah.
I remember being like, there are moments where I was genuinely afraid of Ganon because
Yeah,
he's
he
like
was
the
scary.
stupid, incompetent villain, right? And he's like, I talk like this, man.
Yeah, he's dumb.
But every now and then he'd be like, we must capture Zelda and endure.
yeah, he would get really deep voiced. He was kind of like the boogeyman, kind of.
He
from
was a little
Ghostbusters.
boogeyman-ish.
He talks like this.
Oh man, you're scaring our whole audience away, dude.
Join our Patreon.
Thanks, boogeyman.
But
You're welcome.
get off the podcast, Buggy Man.
Bye.
We can't afford you.
It's hard to do because you got to breathe in and talk.
It's like this.
Oh God, he's back! Boogeyman, no!
I have to.
Oh wait, I can't
I'm
do
the
that for long.
boogeyman now.
I'm losing my real voice.
You
So.
validate parking.
Did somebody say validate parking?
Lady Guinan.
Lady Guinan validated my parking, if you catch my meaning.
Oh my god, that's the hot goss right there.
I was in 10 forward with my 10 forward.
Holy shit!
He's got a 10-inch dick? That's fucking
Mark
crazy.
Twain's got a 10-inch baby dick. I thought he'd be bigger.
Underneath this Kentucky Fried Chicken outfit, I'm packing.
You got a 10-inch baby dick. He needs to be a real man. Get at least 12-incher.
Baby dick. I also have a huge dick that's bigger than 10 inches, so I agree.
Yeah, I've got a really, really big wiener.
Yeah, my wiener is like 37 goddamn inches long.
Wow, only 37. All right.
Yeah, but it's like fucking like 16 inches wide.
Wow.
Yeah,
It's like a big noodle. It's like a big
a pool noodle. That's what they call me, Pool Noodle Henderson.
It's been so many episodes since we said what our last names are that some people might be listening like, huh?
Who's Henderson? I thought he was fucking. I thought his name was Lady Guinan. So confusing.
I thought his name was Trek Boy, and that's why they kept yelling it.
Yeah, we should get our names legally changed to that. Is your wife gonna be okay with that or no?
Dude, she had to go through so much shit to change her last name to Pennington. She would just be like, fuck it, I'm staying Pennington.
I would want my wife to not. I'd be like, don't do it. It's
Her
stupid.
previous last name was an unfortunate one, so
I don't know what it is, but I'll ask you later what it is.
I don't know if she want me to tell.
I won't tell.
Of course
No,
she
no, no.
wouldn't mind me telling everybody. It was her fucking last name. Her last name was Moles, and she knew it was an unfortunate last.
That's
name.
a great last name. I think it's
Not,
a cool last
not like
name.
mole like the animal, like moles like the things you get on your skin.
Yeah. How do you? They're spelled the same way.
They're spelled the same, but when you add the S, right?
It's a very British last name. It sounds like a character from a book. I don't think it's weird. I think it's a neat book name. Henderson
now
is a shitty name.
Now she has my like millionaire last name, and we'll be poor forever. We're the Rochester Penningtons, of course.
Of course. Yes, yes.
We're of the New England Penningtons.
I have a 37-inch penis.
Joshua has a 37-inch baby dick. That's what upper class people sound like.
Yeah. That's what middle class people sound like, because that doesn't exist anymore. Political humor. Get on it.
no.
If you want to join our Patreon, go to patreon.com/mclasspodcast for more scathing commentary about the societal problems we all face.
Yeah, we live in a society. Anyway, Torres, Chakotay, and Tom Paris, Harry Kim, all our fucking favorite characters, are gonna go to the Tsunkatse matches together, right?
Yeah.
And they sit around like a bunch of fucking meatheads talking about how they can beat each other up.
Yeah, they're like, man, I was a boxer, and then Harry Kim is like, I played Parisi Squares, which is a sport no one's ever fucking seen played on the show.
Yeah. Also, like, Kim, who are you kidding? Chakotay would wreck you.
Yeah, that
dude.
guy would
Like,
roll your damn face, my man. Sorry, dude.
Chakotay could beat, like, Torres, Paris, and Kim at once. That dude wrecks face, and you could tell looking at him.
Yeah. He gets real crazy. You can tell he gets crazy. He bites ears off. He's
got a face tattoo like Mike Tyson.
Yeah, he's exactly like Tyson. He's biting ears off. That's what I'm saying.
Terrifying. But Torres is like mad, right? Because like Chakotay's like, well, you're my underling. You have to do my work for me.
You
and
have
she's
to
like,
go.
me and my big mouth, and us in the audience go, ha ha ha.
That's funny because it's not me.
Ho ho ho.
Also, like sitting on the bridge is pretty sweet. You just like watch the TV.
Yeah, you watch the space TV, and I always wonder how boring that must be.
It's got to be so boring. But I guess it's like kind of not boring because like you're flying the ship, I guess. So like you gotta pay attention or whatever. It's like driving. Like driving can be boring, but like you're still using your brain, I guess.
It's true, but they're like stationary above a planet at that point. Like she's just on bridge duty to like make sure nothing goes wrong.
Yeah, I would be like,
so she's like bringing up Snake on the main screen.
Oh, she's playing Snake. Oh wow, that's cool. Not even like Tetris.
You think they still have Snake in the future? They don't. We don't have Snake now.
Now we don't have Snake. Yeah, no one knows what Snake is.
Everybody's like Snake? Simon? What is all this shit?
What these stupid games these idiots are playing?
Bop It? What?
Football?
Bop It was like a mace. You could buy a mace, and
that was Skip It. That was a Skip It was a Morning Star. It was a fucking
Skip It was the Morning Star. Like Bop It was like the thing that you like locked your car.
The club. It looked like the club. Yeah. The club. I knew exactly what you were gonna say. Yeah, it did.
Anyway, I also love that Memory Alpha has this sentence that says Torres is outraged, but keeping it in check as Chakotay's the first officer.
Yeah, I don't think she was outraged at all.
She was just kind of mad.
She was just sort of like, yeah, whatever, fine.
But he says he's an anthropologist, and that's cultural phenomenon, and he leaves.
Sure, it's a pretty shitty boss thing to do, but
yeah, it's like funny because we're watching it from the outside and it's like just a TV show, but could you imagine a modern day boss pulling this horse shit?
I would be annoyed.
I would be like, look, dude, I know about your indiscretions. don't make this harder for both of us. I'm going to these matches. That's a little trick for you, by the way. Everybody that works underneath the boss, if your boss is shitty to you, mention that you know about their secret indiscretions. Because they got them.
Don't give them too much, but just say you know them.
Like, I know about all the shit you're up to. I know about all your secret indiscretions.
Yeah, I know.
And I want in.
I want in. What am I getting into?
Is it weird sex stuff? Because that's what I was hoping for.
I hope it is. Is it like the secretary level shit where it's like spanking, like tons of spankings are happening?
That's all that happens with secretaries, right? It's spank and sex.
I meant the movie, The Secretary.
A movie called Secretary?
With Maggie Gyllenhaal, and she gets like spanked and effed like the whole movie.
This sounds like a pornographic film.
It's not, but you should watch it.
Are you sure it wasn't Maggie Gyllenhaal?
Oh my god. Alright. Now we're done. Now the show is over. Because that's hilarious.
There's a scene with Neelix, but I don't care.
Yeah.
Well, we'll skip. Like he's with the doctor, and because he had an allergic reaction.
Oh right,
stupid fucking homeopathic medicine.
Yeah, and the doctor's like, just come to the fucking doctor next time.
Yeah,
we have a fucking laser pointer that makes your skin fixed. Just come do that.
Neelix is like, look, I don't want to vaccinate my children, okay?
Yeah, I think it causes space autism. Spautism.
I was gonna sigh heavily, but Neelix is like, now I can't go outside with all the sexy blonde human women that dance with me in that GIF. And
the GIF I send you 8 times a week.
I've just got you blocked.
No, I've cooled it with that GIF. Now I'm on the Cheryl. I'm forever on the Cheryl GIFs.
Yeah, it's all Cheryl GIFs, which I'm fine with. I'm
cool.
Those
are better than the Neelix GIF.
Anytime I have to see Neelix, I feel bad, but when I see Cheryl, I feel good. So it's all fine.
It's better.
But he says that he should have gone with Chakotay to the Tsunkatse matches, and the doctor's like mad. He's like, "You're barbarian. You're gonna do this barbarian barbarism,
Barbie dolls.
You're gonna take your barber to this barbarian barbarism." And he says, "Neelix, you should come check out my beetle larva." And Neelix is like, "Yeah, okay, so this is a hard decision, right?" Haha. And then it cuts and he's at the Tsunkatse match, because this is a comedy show.
Right. Get it? He went there.
And two ladies come out and they beat each other up and one wins. And everybody yells a lot.
Yeah. And
But,
then...
we do learn from Chakotay about the Polaron disruptors that everybody's wearing on their hands and feet.
Yeah, sure.
Which is like target sensors. You have to hit them, and like a certain amount of hits is like you're out or whatever, right?
I guess is it that? Or they say that it like messes with your chemistry or biochemistry. Like I think
it's like emitting electric charge. So it hurts more, right?
Yeah, so it makes you, I guess, like get knocked out or something. I don't really know.
They can also just beat you in the head a lot, and you'll get knocked out.
Yeah, do it like how UFC is, where like you just get knocked out because you get punched a bunch of times.
But the doors open, and our hero, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson,
oh fuck yes,
walks out wearing
Finally.
some sort of like S&M straps around his nips. He doesn't want his nips getting
It's
hurt,
more
right?
than he wore in the WWE.
Yeah, I'm wondering if this is like a... No, because they show shirtless people in other episodes,
Oh yeah,
right?
no, it's just future. It's a future onesie.
Yeah,
That's all.
well, he's
it
got
is.
like nips all under it, all around his body, because he's an alien.
Oh, he's got like 17 goddamn nipples.
Yeah, he's got nipples all the way up and all the way around.
That's cool. They're useful. Like maybe the males of that species, Pendari, maybe
Yeah.
they're the milk feeders.
Well, here's the real canon of Star Trek that everybody needs to know now.
Yeah.
The Pendari have 50 nipples.
Yeah.
And they have litters of up to 50 Pendari children.
I get
and
it.
The men breastfeed their children
Like
on all of their 50 nipples.
Like a cat or a dog on the floor. They just
Yeah.
breastfeed their 50 children.
They have like those like pouches that you carry babies in. What the hell are those called?
Marsupials?
No, I mean like people,
Bjorn, baby Bjorns?
like baby Bjorns. They
Yeah.
have like 100 baby Bjorns hanging off of them, and all the babies are just going at
Sucking
those
away,
nips.
man.
I've created a beautiful picture of some
Well, if this
fan
was
artists out there.
Discovery, oh yeah, no, they're gonna draw. They would be like, Jeff, like you're an amazing writer. Would you like to write 7 more episodes?
Of course I would. I got some great ideas for the Klingons.
I got some ideas about dicks, and then you put a cigar in your mouth, and then you put another cigar in your
two
mouth.
cigars, and they're like, I'm picking up what you're putting down, Jeff. And then I like jerk the cigars off, and they're like, okay, Jeff, we got it.
And then
we
yeah.
get you.
Yeah,
Oh, the cigars are jizzing. Get it? Yeah,
the
Jeff.
cigars are the dicks. It's like 4 hours later, you're still doing it.
They're gone. I'm just in the room by myself.
Dark. It's just dark in the office.
The Rock comes out, and all I could think about in this is like anytime I see The Rock from this era, all I can think about is like, how did this guy get even more jacked?
Yeah, no, he was like 90s jacked, but now he's just like roid jacked. Like he's ripped.
He is a muscle now. His
Yeah.
entire body is a
Well,
muscle.
that's all he ever does, man. Like, I mean, that guy works his ass off. He's in a million
Yeah.
things. But, like, yeah, he once you get like that, like, you have to keep doing it. Like, that's all you do. Like, it's like 4 fucking days a week, at least.
Yeah. I'm sure he's in the gym every
day, yeah, no, every day,
Because I
yeah.
remember reading something once about like how his trailer had to be extra large because it has gym equipment in it.
Yeah.
On movies.
It's a little ridiculous. I don't think he needs to look like that, but, like, whatever, man.
No, he could have just looked like this, right?
Yeah, he could
like, he was just a really big guy who was built. He went to
yeah.
the gym like 2 or 3 times.
He
a
could have,
week,
like,
right?
regular muscles and not, like, superhuman muscles. That would be cool. Like, he would look normal. Like, that'd be fine.
Well, there's like I always think about the scene in Guardians of the Galaxy, the first one, where like Chris fucking
Pratt.
Yeah, Chris Pratt takes his shirt off, and he's suddenly like a million times more defined than usual.
Yeah.
Because he's like, he hasn't drank water for a day and a half.
Yeah, they like dehydrate themselves and shit.
And then like he puts his normal suit back on and you see like he's wider and thicker in the suit because he drank water that day.
Yeah.
You shouldn't be able to tell the difference in someone's size based on how many glasses of water they had that day.
I mean, for movies, for sure. Like, I'm not saying The Rock does this, but like, I mean, they take steroids.
Oh, well, yeah. Like, you don't get from being like this to like he is now naturally.
Like there's steroid. Like, they're just
like he was natural in this. Like, that's all from working out and just being a big guy.
Yeah.
Because his dad was a wrestler as well, so he's just been like, he got them good genes for it, too.
I love him, man. I'll watch anything with him. I can't help it.
He's great. Like, he's in garbage for the most part.
Oh, yeah,
like, he's in a good movie like once every 5 years, maybe.
Yeah, but like, The Rundown, dude.
The Rundown's hilarious.
That movie fucking rules. I fucking love that movie. The Rundown and Walk Tall. They're both great. And they're both like the same kind of movie. Like,
it's true.
Like,
one of them's like a comedy, and the other one's not. But it is the same movie, pretty much.
Get out of here, monkey!
Get out of here, monkey!
That's so funny.
Yeah, but he's huge now. Like, he's massive.
He's got to do those Hobbs and Shaw movies.
Yeah, that's true. Those are very important.
Yeah.
Ballers. It just reminds me of Sylvester Stallone.
Yeah.
He's always like super ripped, right?
Yeah.
But now he's like a vein. His whole body is a vein because he does super steroids all day, every day.
Yeah, he's also like 75 years old.
You see like the dude from the State Farm commercials. You ever see him without his shirt on?
Those are the ones where he's like the tree or the cat or whatever. That guy?
No, the ones who's like, we've seen it, we've covered it. He was
J. Jonah Jameson. Yeah.
Yeah, he's like, he's ripped underneath the suit
is
and
he?
everything. Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. I mean, I am too, so whatever.
Well, of
no
course.
big deal.
I wear a fat suit every day, so.
Yeah, I don't want to make
I'm actually ripped underneath it.
Yeah, I don't want to make people feel bad or have them know how ripped I am.
I don't want everyone to know how very, very strong I am.
Yeah, it would be bad.
Because then every time somebody needs a jar open, they're going to be coming at me.
Yeah, I don't got time for that shit. I got to get ripped.
I got to be at the gym 24/7.
I live there.
Everybody's like, Jeff works really hard at his day job, right?
Yeah.
And they don't know. I'm just at the gym.
You're just pumping
it. Pumping it all day, every day, dude.
With just everybody. Just pumping everything with everyone.
I'm like lifting the building now. I've moved, like nothing in the building is heavy enough for me. I'm just lifting
Oh,
the
you're like
building
Goku now. That's cool.
Yeah, I have to train in 10 times Earth's gravity now.
Oh, don't set it to 100. It'll be bad. But in the end, it'll be good?
Yeah, it'll be bad for like a minute, but then I overcome it by the sheer force of my muscles.
Yeah, because 100 times gravity wouldn't destroy you, kill you.
No, I'm just super duper strong.
That's cool.
Also, I can throw a spirit bomb.
Yeah, from all the spirits of the everything.
Yeah.
Sure, why not?
If you go to the gym every day, they teach you that.
Oh, they teach you spirit bomb? Man, I should go to the gym.
You need to hit the gym, dude.
I know.
If you go there every day for a month, they teach you a Kamehameha.
That's like more useful, I think. I would Kamehameha so many people and be like, it's a perfect crime. Like,
yeah, how are they gonna pin that?
How
shit?
are they gonna pin that shit on
the
anybody?
only guy on Earth that can Kamehameha, right?
like, do you want to come arrest me? Come get me, motherfucker.
Yeah, let's see how that turns out for you, right?
Yeah. Come touch me. That'll be great.
Like, I can lift buildings and throw energy out of my hands.
Yeah.
Let's see how that works.
I would
out.
I would be a villain. I would just be like, yeah, whatever, fuck it. I would just do whatever I want.
Dude, I'd be like the worst kind of hero. I'd be like, I'd show up and like save the day or whatever and be like, make sure to eat Hostess snack cakes. Cha-ching.
I would just kill people. I wouldn't like Batman as a. I'd be like, fucking, you're dead, dude. Like, you're fucking dead. Like, I wouldn't.
Well, Batman doesn't have he can't throw a spirit bomb.
No, he can't.
What's he gonna do?
But he doesn't kill people. I would definitely murder people.
I don't know
Justifiably.
if I would be murdering people.
Nah, I would.
I would for sure be doing all types of corporate sponsorships, though. Like, I would be the richest man on Earth.
Yeah, you could just be rich, though, because, like, you could just get money.
Yeah, I could just fly to, like, a gold mine and just take all the gold.
Right?
Be like, I'm the rich man.
I found the gold, and now it's my gold.
Check out, I went to this old abandoned coal mine and I crushed all the coal into diamonds. I'm the richest man on
Why don't you go into
so.
space and just find an asteroid made out of diamonds and just like fucking get some of it? Come back. Here's the biggest diamond ever.
I'm ready for, I'll just do a GoFundMe that says, I'm Goku now. Give me your money.
I'm Goku now. Yeah.
I will steal all of your chi and just destroy this fucking planet with a spirit bomb. Give me
Yeah.
all your money.
True.
Bill Gates, looking at you.
Looking at
Give me all your
you.
money.
Where's Bulma?
Really, I would just fly to Washington, D.C. and be like, all right, I'm president now.
No, you like Superman. You just kill the president. I mean, what?
Just like Superman did.
Yeah. And then everything turns out A-okay.
Everything will be fine after that. I'd be the boogeyman. I'd be like a horror movie villain. I would just
Yeah.
show up at people's house and be like, blah.
Damn, man. You're so, like a weird Spider-Man. Like,
I wouldn't even do it for justice or anything. I'd just be like a horror movie villain for a day. That has to be fun, right? Just scaring people. They all think I'm like a monster, but then I'm
Yeah.
like, it's just me, Superman. What's up?
what's up? Cool Superman over here.
And they're like, oh, fuck, Superman, you
got
scared
me.
us so bad that we pooped all of our pants.
He got me, guys. He got me.
I can't believe Superman they'd have to play it off, right?
And be
'Cause
on
you can't be
YouTube.
mad at Superman.
Yeah.
Like, he'd crush you with his fucking butt cheeks. What are you gonna do?
Yeah, that is the way he would do it.
He's got those sun-powered glutes, dude. What are you gonna do?
The Rock ain't got nothing on Superman, though.
No. Maybe with all those steroids now.
Maybe.
The Rock bench presses his gym every day.
His whole gym.
Anyway, like 7 of 9 walks out.
Yeah. Back to the episode, I guess.
7 of 9 walks out, and the Voyager crew are like, "Oh my god!"
Bum, bum, bum. Yeah.
And they all start screaming her name, right? Mm-hmm. And The Rock is talking about how they sent him like a weak little bitch, right? And he's gonna beat her up.
He
and nothing
beats
she can do
her.
about
He
it.
beats her up.
This is a equal opportunity smackdown.
Yeah.
He calls her a Tarkanian field mouse,
I guess that's weak, I'm assuming.
which I bet The Rock was like. Even The Rock, who wasn't a sci-fi fan, was like, so they got field mice on this dude's planet?
Yeah, he reads it pretty well, though. Like, you can tell
Yeah, he
he's like an
does.
act. Like, you can tell he wants to do this stuff. There's been people on Star Trek that have fucked it up way
yeah.
worse than.
I mean, like, look at the difference between this is the Rock's first acting job that I know of
Yeah.
outside of WWF.
That's what I thought too. I think it
Compare
is.
that to The Marine,
Yeah.
like a full budget Hollywood film starring the man you can't see, John Cena.
Yeah.
And there's worlds apart. Like, The Rock is charismatic.
Yeah, he's
he
way
reads the
better.
lines correctly.
Cena's like a joke. Like, even in Bumblebee, which is like a movie I'll go to bat for, he's an idiot. Like, he's a dummy in
He's
the movie.
in the movie?
Yeah,
I
he's
didn't
in
know
that movie.
He's like a really great dude. He does all the Make-A-Wish shit all the time.
But he's,
It's
like,
after
goofy.
one of those, I'd be like, oh my god, I think that's enough for me.
Yeah, it'd be
Like, how do you
tough. It'd
keep
be
doing
tough to
them?
go back to see that, right?
But he does them all because that's what the kids want.
Yeah.
And that's great. But he's not a good actor.
No, he's just like kind of like over the top, which is like he's a WWE guy, right? Like
Yeah, you gotta be.
Yeah.
That's what they hire you for.
yeah. But The Rock transcends that. Like, and not everyone can do that.
Also, 7 of 9 says the resistance is futile, which I feel like she wouldn't want to be saying.
I think
but she
it's kind
says
of
it.
cool that she says it. Like, I kind of think it's like kind of cool. I don't know.
It is
it's
cool,
action
but
movie. Plus, we get
it
some
is.
kung fu karate going on, which is kind of neat. You don't
I really
usually see
love
that.
when her double steps in.
Oh,
and she
fuck
starts
yeah.
Doing like
The
fucking
stunt-
spin kicks.
Yeah, the
and
stunt
flips
double.
and shit.
And it's like with a wig on, and you can tell it's on her.
It's like Denise Crosby in a wig. They brought her back for it.
It's like Crosby, Stills, and Nash in a wig.
It's all three of them on each other's shoulders.
Yeah, in a
Wear a
suit,
wig.
in a people suit.
But I do, anytime it cuts away far enough that you can't see the face as well, I'm like, yeah, we're about to get some good action.
Well, they fuck with the lighting, like the lights are blinking, and like the double's doing like her whole body spin, right? So you can never see her face really.
And it's pretty seamless. There's
That's
not
all right.
like I looked pretty close, and like you don't really see the other lady's face.
It's
very
done
often.
well. It's done pretty well.
And she's like a super great stunt person.
Yeah.
Like her kung fu is awesome.
I bet she's from other things because stunt people
Probably.
are always just like doing all the things.
She's probably like every TV show's lady stunt double,
Yeah.
since that's how it usually
Yeah.
works. But he says that her talk is futile, and then he punches her in the face. And he kicks her in the chest. And 90s audiences were probably like, wow, this is pretty rough.
Yeah.
But it's the future. Everybody's equal.
Yeah,
and
she's a
she also
Borg.
has super strength. So.
She's a Borg. It's fine.
They try to beam her out, right?
Yeah.
And they can't get a lock on her anywhere.
Yeah, there's nobody there, and you can see like one of them like flickers in and out a little bit.
And that's when we learn there's no life signs in the ring at all either. And we learn that they're just photonic. They're just being...
Which is fucking smart as shit, right?
Oh, yeah. Like
that's a really
otherwise-
clever part of the episode, I thought. I was like,
I think so, too.
that's cool. Like, that's
a
smart.
good, like, bait and switch where they're like, oh, they're just going to, like, teleport her out.
Yeah.
They're going to transport her out, which I thought... Like, I haven't seen this episode in, like, a super long time,
Yeah.
so I don't remember anything from it. And I was like, oh, man, they're going to, like, beam her out, and then she'll be like, you have to send me back because I have to save 2
Yeah,
lives.
or they
It's
would have
gonna be a
been
whole
like,
thing.
we can, there's a shield or something, right? Like, who knows,
It
right?
was smarter
Yeah.
than that. It was a little smarter
Yeah.
than that. They didn't fall back on the tropes,
Yeah.
which is good. I appreciate that. And it's also just smart in an in-universe way.
Yeah.
Because, like, having the fighters away from the crowds means that the crowds can't influence anything
Yeah.
or stop the fight in any way.
Yeah, they can't climb into the ring.
It's super smart. And the audience... I couldn't figure out if the audience already knew that they were holograms or not, because they seem to react when they flicker, but then they're
guess-
back on board when they stop.
I guess, like, the regular audience would know because they're watching it elsewhere. There's other places watching it, right?
Yeah, that's true.
So, but the Voyager crew wouldn't because they just probably didn't know, right? They didn't realize that, I guess. I don't know.
I guess. Like, they didn't do any research.
I know,
on
they're
this.
just like, fun fights, yay!
Yeah, like, I don't know. There's like a history of this shit on Earth.
Right.
Like, you should at least research it, right?
Right, like, this is like a gladiator sort of thing. Like, maybe things aren't
think
real
you're-
cool with this shit. Like,
I think you're right, though. I think it's like a naivete.
yeah, they just assume that it's, like, fine. Like, it's regulated and everyone's being treated well. And, you know, they just assume-
Everybody's good, just
Yeah.
like us,
So we're just-
right?
everything's fine, yeah.
They do this cool cutaway though, where they show the same room and there's no one there, and
I
it's
think
just
that's
the two
awesome.
fighters fighting, and I thought that was cool.
Yeah.
That we got to see what the other side of it was like. They're not
yeah.
really in a big arena in the same way.
Yeah, it's cool, and it's also, like, production-wise, pretty smart. You don't always have to have the audience, you know?
Oh yeah, for sure.
It's like in the baseball episode where they cut out the audience. The
that can get like a little annoying if it's constant.
Yeah.
In a fight scene, so it's good that we got the little breakaway from
Yeah.
it. It's a little refreshing.
Well, they're all
for the
yelling at her,
audience.
too. They're like, 7! And, like, they can't.
That goes on for a little too long.
Yeah, it does. And it's like, but that's also neat, though, because, like, she can't hear them because, like, they're not there. Like, she doesn't see them, right? Like, so it's kind of a double cool thing where it's like, it explains how it works and also explains why she can't hear them.
Oh yeah,
pretty clever. It's pretty clever.
It's really clever, I think.
Yeah.
That
Good
sounds
job,
like a
David
sp-
Kenny.
That sounds like a Spivsy video to me, though, where it'll just keep cutting between their faces, yelling 7, and then cutting back to the fight
It goes
over and
back to the
over and
fight.
over
Yeah,
again.
it's like Vic Berger-y.
But the fight's going out to a bunch of different places, we learn. And the Pandari, who I'm just going to call the Rock,
Yeah.
the Rock gets, like, knocked down.
But he gets up
he's like,
again. He ain't ever gonna knock me down.
Are you proud of that one, Josh?
Yeah, I'm sticking with it. I'm keeping it.
She's gonna like knock him out, right? She pulls up the fist.
Death
ready,
hand, coup de
but
grace.
she stops. She starts thinking about it, like, oh, am I gonna kill this guy?
Yeah, what's going on?
She's never heard of knocking someone out. She's only heard of kill. So she's like, shit. And he like punches her right in the fucking face.
Yeah. Whoops.
And he's like choking her out, right?
Yeah.
And he flips her over. He does like a choke slam. Does the people's elbow. He does the full leg.
Oh,
he does
yeah.
4 leg lock.
He does the full Nelson.
He does the half Nelson just to get the full package,
Yeah.
right? But she gets like wrecked.
Yeah, she's
And
done.
then The Rock is gone from the show forever.
She goes back to the room, the sad office room, bedroom, and The Rock is like, later, I'm off to go do my next thing, which is be in movies. Here I come, Hollywoods.
Here I come, Hollywood. I'm gonna be in The Mummy 2. And then maybe my own movie.
And then maybe I'll get my own movie.
Man, I'm really just in it for the mummies.
Now we know.
The Mummy. Fucking classic movie.
Those movies
love
are
them.
fun. The first two are incredible.
The first two, so good.
They're
So
really good. They're really good. Yeah.
The Mummy 1 is like a great fucking.
Yeah, the
movie. I'll go to
first
bat for
Mummy
that
is
movie any
amazing.
day.
Did I ever tell you about I have a inter-movie theory
Uh-oh.
about
Is
how...
it that the Mummy is connected to the Scorpion King?
Well, I mean, yes. I mean, we obviously know that, Jeff. Yeah.
I'm a little behind the times on my interconnected movie theories.
That Indiana Jones, the Mummy, and the National Treasure universes are all the same universe.
I could buy that.
Like, they're all, like, this, like, adventurer-y, like they're all, like maybe Indiana Jones is, like, National Treasure guy's hero or something, you know what I mean? Like, they all kind of fit the same kind of, like, genre, which is, like,
the
treasure
worlds are
movies.
The worlds are like similar. I guess the Indiana Jones and the Mummy world is a little more similar.
Well,
Like, magic
obviously
is real.
yeah. I think because like the Mummy is directly inspired by Indiana. I mean, it's obviously that's
Oh,
what
yeah,
they
for
like.
sure.
They were like, let's make Indiana Jones, but then somebody was like, well, we can't. I know, let's call it the Mummy.
The thing that I never put 1 and 1 together on is that the Mummy is a remake of the Boris Karloff Mummy. It's like it's
that's
supposedly a remake.
That's not a thing. It's not. That's like a cop out, dude. And I know that
the
they're
only
gonna
thing
make
that they
new
have
ones.
in common is that there's a mummy in both of them named Imhotep. That's it.
Yeah, they're gonna. I mean, like they've been talking about like starting that universe up where all the Wolfman. It's like, how the fuck are you gonna do that?
Well, they fucking canceled that.
Yeah,
Like, they did
stopped.
the Tom Cruise mummy. You know, the one where he yells in the plane.
The video, that video.
Oh yeah.
It's so fucking funny, dude. That shit's hilarious.
Yeah, they canceled that because that movie tanked.
Yeah, it was a dumb idea. It was just a stupid
can't-
fucking idea.
You can't remake The Mummy since The Mummy with Brendan Fraser happened.
No, it's a great movie. It's a lightning in a bottle movie. It's great. Like a
It
super
is.
great.
The cast is perfect. There's nobody. There's no weak link. There's like 3 American guys in the movie. I don't even know any of the
they're
actors' names.
They're great. They're all great. Everybody in the movie's great.
so good. Anyway, Chakotay calls his wife back to the ship. He's like, come clean. They're making fun of me, wife, mom. Please come
kids
by."
are out of control. One of them joined a fight club. I don't know. I don't fucking know. And she's like, I'll be right there. Just God damn it. And there's guys
Make
on the
it back in
Delta
48
Flyer.
hours.
There's crew on the Delta Flyer that's like nobody. He's like, what were they doing hanging out with the
yeah.
captain for like fucking 5 days? Whatever.
They're expendables.
Yeah.
Is why she's like, I'm going on a mission, so
Leave me alone.
make sure to put people in with me that can die in my place. You're right, though. I didn't even think about that. She just goes on a mission with just a bunch of nobody.
Fuck these people.
Really, like in real Starfleet, that's who would go.
Oh,
on a
yeah,
mission.
no,
like
it'd
the
be
captain
whoever.
wouldn't be there. It would just be some nobody and a bunch of nobodies.
The captain would have to stay home because that's how it is.
Yeah.
They got to stay on the ship. Like, you don't leave the ship. You're in charge
All
of
the
a fucking
captains leave-
ship that can like blow up a fucking planet. Like, you're staying on it, dude.
Oh, yeah. Dude, all the captains leave the ship all the time.
It's dumb. It's a bad idea.
The one who leaves the ship least is Picard, and he's like, all right, the away team is my first officer, my head engineer, the ship's counselor?
Think about it this way.
For some reason?
Like, think about
and the main doctor.
Think about it this way, dude. It's like if the captain of an aircraft carrier went to go kill Osama bin Laden.
He just went himself.
Like, he went with, like, SEAL Team 6 to go kill fucking Osama bin Laden. Like,
I'd watch that movie.
What the
Captain Picard SEAL Team 6 versus Osama bin Laden.
It's like a Jack Ryan movie or something. That's
true.
Kind of what
Jack Ryan, who is not in the military.
No, he's just like a consultant, but he's also like a guy who kills terrorists.
Yeah, he's also a Superman.
Yeah, he stops
He bench
World War
presses
III.
the terrorists.
Oh man,
he's also Jim from The Office.
yeah. Now he's Jim. All right, why not?
Okay.
Sure, I guess I'm in. Amazon Prime. Let's do it.
I've never watched an episode.
I never have either. It always wants me to. It's like, hey, do you want to watch this? And I'm like, no, I don't want to watch.
Yeah,
this.
they're leaning pretty heavily on that one. It is fairly popular. I
guess
guess
people like Jack Ryan a bunch. I like Hunt for Red October. It's a great movie.
I've literally only watched Jack Ryan movies by accident.
Is it? Have you seen Hunt for Red
Jack
October?
Ryan. I've seen Hunt for
That's
Red
a great
October.
Star Trek movie.
That
That doesn't take place in Star Trek universe. It's a really good Star Trek movie though, and they talk
It's
about
like-
Star Trek in it. He calls them
clear and present danger. Is that one?
Oh yeah, that one's one. Some of All Fears with Ben Affleck is one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There's one that's fucking like Alec Baldwin.
yeah, that's Hunt for
is
Red
Jack
October.
Ryan. That's Hunt for Red October.
Yeah.
But like I've never watched a movie because Jack Ryan is in this. I've always just watched a movie and been like, oh, I didn't know it's the guy from the other thing. Okay.
Yeah. I think the Sum of All Fears is like the first one. It's supposed to be like how he like in the books, because they're books, right? Like
Yeah, there's like a whole series.
yeah, like that's the
Tom
first
Clancy.
one. Yeah. I'm not super into it, but I get it. It's kind of neat.
I played Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six.
Yeah, I mean that's a great game.
Tom Clancy's still making them games. What's the one? Splinter Cell.
Splinter Cell. Yeah.
Tom Clancy's Metal Gear Solid.
Yep.
Those are alright games.
They're all right.
Anyway.
Anyway. Should we take a break?
Yeah, we didn't do one last time. You're right. I keep forgetting. So
It's okay.
Let's take a quick break. Hopefully these messages will warm your heart and soul.
It's probably going to be a Simon commercial.
Inspire you to go to patreon.com/mclasspodcast, slap down your hard-earned money for free podcast materials, artwork, and more.
You're getting
We'll be back.
You're getting your money's worth today.
We'll be back right after these messages.
After the messages, we'll be right back.
You smell what the Rock is cooking?
Wednesday,
I possess superior strength.
when America's SmackDown hero takes on Voyager's Battlestar Babe. Worlds will collide.
I have no desire to inflict further damage.
I'm afraid I can't say the same.
Tsunkatse to Voyager. Beam her out of there.
WWF's The Rock guest stars on an all-new Voyager.
Back to the show.
Welcome back, cadets and captains,
What's up?
and everybody in between. We're talking about Tsunkatse still.
Yeah.
I'm doing this like a radio show where I'm like re-introing it every time. Well, this episode we're going to be talking about Tsunkatse. We're going to jump right back into it with a
Yeah,
little,
like a real podcast.
with a little bit of Crosby, Stills, and Nash.
Oh, again? Oh, fuck yes.
But
What were
anyway,
they doing? What were they doing? Oh,
Janeway was headed back. She's like 48 hours and I'll be back. And Seven
Sure.
woke back up in the office building that Josh used to work in.
Yeah. On the couch I used to sleep on.
The Hirogen from the beginning of the episode is like using a dermal regenerator on her.
Yeah, and he's like, it's almost out of battery. Stay the fuck still.
He already used it on Tuvok, so he's a good guy, right? We know that.
Sure.
And he's like, you know, if you hadn't have hesitated, then you would have won instead of losing. I thought you were a hunter, so you need to live up to being a hunter.
Yeah.
You could be a champion.
Yeah, and he's like, you know what the difference between being a survivor and a champion is? And she goes, no. And he says, nothing.
Dun, dun, dun.
And next thing you know, fucking... You're the Best by fucking Survivor or whoever, Journey or whatever is
Whoever
playing.
did that for the Karate Kid.
The best! No one's ever going to be the best. And it's a montage of training happens. I skipped over some parts.
Pink
but...
comes in and he's like, you gotta do the shit I want you to do or else I'm gonna be mad. So everybody loved it when you got beat up, so I'm gonna have someone kill you in the ring now.
Yeah, because people like watching Borgs get beat up, I guess.
Yeah, well, Borgs fucking suck, so...
Yeah, I don't know why the Starfleet people thought this, like, portion of the Delta Quadrant was on the up and up, because, like, the Delta Quadrant is a shithole.
Yeah, have they met anyone who's on the up and up?
Yeah, this whole fucking quadrant is a fucking space fucking like trailer park, dude. Like it is not awesome here. It sucks here.
Like this is season 6 of this program, and they have not met one planet of people who aren't in some way fucked up this whole time.
The best planet they go to is the one where like that race of people is invisible, so the Borg doesn't kill them. That's the best place they go to.
That's like a freak of nature planet as well, so...
Yeah, and they're like, well, we better leave them alone, because, like, I don't know, I don't want the Borg assimilating these assholes, do you?
Yeah, then they can turn invisible? No thanks.
We don't want that. We don't want that.
But the Hirogen is still there, so she looks at Tuvok and realizes that, you know, gotta do what I gotta do. She turns to the Hirogen and says, teach me, and then, you're the best, the best.
No one's ever gonna be the best. Yeah, and she gets real strong.
Yeah, she trains with him. And I, as an audience member who haven't watched this episode in so long that I don't remember anything about it, immediately knew this is the guy she's fighting.
I had seen this before, and I didn't remember that. So that's interesting. And usually I'm really up on that shit.
Yeah, I didn't remember it. I just knew it. Like, the way he says, I know everything about him, and I'll teach you his weaknesses and stuff, I was like, okay, that's you.
Yeah.
No one knows anyone like they know themselves.
Do they, though? I would argue nobody doesn't know anybody like they don't know themselves.
It's deep, Josh.
Yeah, I know.
If anybody wants to parse what Josh just said and explain it to me, send it over on to mclassemail@gmail.com.
Started out by saying, Dear Penthouse.
Jackpot.
Jackpot. It finally happened. I fucked Josh's thoughts.
If you can figure out how to have sex with Josh's thoughts, please let me know at mclassemail@gmail.com.
Bitch, you do it every Wednesday.
Anyway, so it's a whole training montage, right? And, like, he's basically just telling her that, like, you have to treat your enemies as your prey, and you can't sympathize with them, even if he got stolen from his child, and his child's probably dead.
Strike hard, strike fast. What's the other one?
Cobra Kai.
Cobra Kai, yeah. She's got Cobra Kai.
Yeah, there's no Mr. Miyagi in this shit. It's all Cobra Kai.
It's J.G. Hertzler as Cobra Kai / Mr. Miyagi?
Pretty much.
Mr. Hiroji. The actor, the guy?
Yeah, what was his name?
He's a Oscar-winning director. Billy
D. Williams, was that him?
Billy D. Williams, yes.
Was it the Colt 45 man?
Yeah, it was Billy D.
Wouldn't that have made the movie better, though, if it was Billy D. Williams?
Would it have done that?
As the kid.
Billy Zabka.
As the kid, too, not the old guy. The kid.
Yeah, Billy. As everybody. It's Billy Zabka.
Billy Zabka, who is in so many B action movies.
Yeah, he's
in
in
the late
ton of
80s
shit.
and early 90s.
Bad guy. Bad guy from movies.
That's him.
Oh, that's right. He's in Back to School. He's Chaz.
Oh shit! Yeah,
man. I love Back to School. That movie rules.
So Neelix was sent to talk to the ambassador from the planet that this shit is coming from. Because they can't find the ship that it's being beamed from. They've been searching hard, but they can't.
They send
find
their
it.
idiot to do stuff that's important. Why not?
Like, Neelix is not an ambassador. He's a clown. This is worse than Jar Jar Binks.
Well, they keep, like, vacillating between him being a clown and him being, like, important. And, like, what is he? Like, he's just, like, nothing. Like, it makes him neither of those things. Because he's more of a clown, because everyone's like, Neelix is a dummy. And children love him.
Everybody treats him like he's an idiot, because he is. He is an idiot.
Right. Right.
But yeah, he super sarcastically says that they are going to do something about it. They didn't know that Off-Worlders were being kidnapped and forced into the competition.
Sure they didn't. Sure, Jan.
But
that's an internet thing.
Does anybody remember Sure Jan?
If you were born in like the 60s, you probably remember it.
And when there was the funny remake movies in the 90s.
Yeah, with Christina, what's her name? Christina
Applegate wasn't in that movie, was she?
No, the fucking Ben Stiller's ex-wife.
Yeah, Ben Stiller's ex-wife was in it, yeah.
She's from Allentown, Pennsylvania.
Well, that's cool.
That's not cool. Nobody wants to be from Allentown, Pennsylvania.
You know, I watched the first 4 or 5 episodes of the Cowboy Show. Deadwood.
Hey, dude? Oh.
Hey, dude?
Yes, that's the Cowboy Show I also was talking about. Deadwood. Not Hey, Dude.
I watched Are there cowboys on Hey, Dude?
She's in it. That's the first thing she ever did.
Oh. No, I was watching Deadwood the other day, and the actor who plays the crazy Betazoid is in it. Who plays crazy people in everything.
Suitor?
Yeah, Suitor. That
what's
actor.
his name? Reamer Wormtongue?
Yeah, Rima Wormtongue. He's the town doctor, and he's not insane. He's a good guy.
Yeah. I never watched that show, but
that
I
show
should.
is racist as fuck, dude. Like, how is it? It's perfectly like what people would be saying in that time period, right?
Yeah. But
how do you say that on TV?
That's HBO, dude.
Like, everybody, even like the good guys, are like horrible racists, and I'm like, this is super accurate. Like,
yeah, it's HBO. That's how they did it. HBO.
It does have the unfortunate problem of making me not like anybody on the show, which is a problem for me.
Well, I don't know if you know what happens in the end, so I won't tell you.
The town gets attacked by ghosts.
Can't shoot a ghost.
What am I gonna do? I can't trick a ghost into killing its brother.
Perfect killing machine.
Speaking of, in episode 2, a drunk guy shows up. Like, his brother's been killed, and like he shows up, and like you see his dick and his like butt a ton.
Yeah.
And it's Nick
Which
Offerman.
episode 2? Oh, it's Nick Offerman.
So I've seen Nick Offerman's dick and butt like a whole bunch. So
I mean, why not? If I was an actor, I would just get it right out of the way.
Like, I feel like that was a fairly early thing that he did as well. Like, Deadwood is from a while ago.
Well, he's married to Megan Mullally, so I don't know, like, how that worked. Like, I don't know what he did. Was he, like, a theater guy? I don't know. I don't know about.
He's, like, a really good dude that everyone loves.
Yeah, everyone
meets
loves
him, so that's probably why.
Yeah, he's cool. I mean,
I love that guy.
I'd suck his dick and butt.
He's got a alright dick, not gonna lie.
Let me look it up. I'll be the judge of that.
They finally find the ship, right?
Yeah.
But it is like a giant, powerful gunship. It's like more on the level of the Enterprise D than the Voyager. So it's like
big.
they got the Voyager outgunned.
And they make a cool line that's like, it's out of our weight class, because that's like a reference to the fights. Yeah.
It's boxing.
Get it?
And Chakotay says, you know that old adage, the bigger they come, and then he doesn't finish it, so no one at home knows what it is.
And then B'Elanna in her head is like, come? Like jizz?
Wow, is this sexual harassment? Should I go to HR?
Am I inferring this correctly, or am I missing something?
But he has the coordinates sent to Captain Janeway, who's in the Delta Flyer that's apparently indestructible and can never lose until it does.
It's the kit of this show. It's fucking the dope car of the show.
Like, it gets destroyed a bunch, but it just comes back immediately. Like, they were scraping the bottom of the barrel to make it the first time.
Yeah, which is kind of cool, right?
Yeah.
Like,
but then it gets destroyed and they just make another?
Yeah, they're like, print out a new one. 3D print out a new Delta Flyer. Fuck it.
And sometimes it's indestructible, and other times it dies in like 2 hits.
Also, sometimes it races like race car does.
It's true. Sometimes it breaks warp 10 and turns you into a catfish.
Oh, yeah. No, that was a regular shuttle. They like made it be fast, I guess. But also, catfish.
I love the emoji in the Discord of you as the catfish.
That's one of my favorites. We have a whole bunch of new ones I saw. They are really funny.
Yeah, like, those are, all the new ones are made by our patrons. Like, I just added them.
I didn't know what TIC was, and then they enlightened me.
Yes, there I contributed.
There I contributed. And
if you go to thereicontributed.com, it will be pointed towards some good thing to put your money to, because Desrath owns it, and he always redirects it to cool stuff.
What was the other one? There was one in the font that said, I forget what
Double
it said.
Dumbass.
Double Dumbass, that's right.
Which if you become a patron at patreon.com/mclasspodcast at the captain level, you are not legally allowed to be called a double dumbass ever again. No one can ever call you that.
That's an amazing perk that we offer. You'd be stupid not to do that.
It's true. Put 50 real dollars down to not be called a double dumbass.
Nobody can call you a double dumbass? Fuck, dude. I would do it. Ever. Legally.
I'm thinking about making that like an enforceable thing. Because there are like mute functions and shit on Discord, right? Where you can mute people for certain periods of time.
You could do that. You could mute them for like a day or something.
So I might make calling someone a double dumbass who's a captain actual punishable offense.
That's amazing. Well, legally you have to, because it's legal.
It's true. It is legally binding.
Yeah, it's illegal to do that.
Back on Pink's ship. What's a good Pink song?
None of them.
Okay.
They're not very... I don't really like Pink that much, but my girlfriend does, so, you know, whatever.
I like Pink okay, I guess. I can't remember any of her songs, so maybe not that much.
She sang the national anthem when the Eagles won the Super Bowl, so that's cool.
That's alright. Back in the barracks, 7 of 9 completes her training, and she's super fucking good, right?
Yeah.
And the Hirogen is like, you've done it. And what do you see when you look at your opponent? She says, my prey.
She's a Hirogen now.
And he's like, and what will you do when you when you see your prey? And she's like, hunt it down and kill it.
Fuck it. I mean, kill it.
And the Hirogen says that she's ready.
You're ready. You're ready to go fight in the Tsunkatse.
And he says, you'll thank me by winning. And he leaves.
Yeah.
And Tuvok, who becomes super murder horny in this episode.
Yeah, he's like...
It's only logical to kill.
He's like, do what you gotta do. Which is like if Tuvok told me that, I would be like, you know what? That really helps. Like, I'm gonna do that.
You know what? Like, you're right. I am going to kill them.
Yeah. A Vulcan is basically like, yo, just kill that guy. I'd be like, all right.
Dude, wouldn't that make like a really dope name to a novel, though?
What's that?
It's, shit. I just said it and I forgot it. Damn.
A Tuvok to kill?
A Tuvok to kill.
It's like a James Bond movie.
Vulcan or Volkill.
Whoa!
That wasn't it.
That's my second tattoo. Next to my green blood, green bud tattoo.
He basically says, look, you gotta do what you gotta do, baby.
You gotta kill some fools, do it.
Oh, it's only logical to kill.
Yeah, that is that's amazing. I like it.
But he tells her, like, look, would it be better if he kills you? And she's like, no, I will kill.
Yeah, I don't want to die. I'm a sexy robot from the future. I don't want to die.
Today I will kill.
Yeah. Cut to Tsunkatse.
She gets taken out to the Tsunkatse, and the Hirogen kind of like watches her leave, and he's like, I made her the killer. And she comes out and she's pumped, right? She's like, I'm gonna fucking kill this dude. I'm gonna rip his heart out. I'm gonna eat it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have it with a nice Chianti and some fava beans. I'm ready.
Yeah, like that movie.
But then the Hirogen walks out, like we all know.
Oh, man, of course.
She's like, oh, no.
Yeah. It's bad.
And the moral is a little gray here, I find. Because it was cool to kill somebody if you didn't know them.
Right.
But not if you do.
Right. It goes back to, like, the Star Trek thing where, like, there's always a third way. Like, whenever in Star Trek there's two options, the great characters think of the third option, right?
The Kobayashi Maru.
Right. It's like that. And in this, like, that kind of happens, sort of.
Not because of her. It's like, she has nothing to do with it.
It reminds me of that episode when Data gets kidnapped by the collector guy.
Oh, yeah.
And at the end, he shoots, like, the weapon goes off. And then he, like, lies about it, which is, like, really dark and scary.
It is. It's like, holy shit, he shouldn't be able to do that.
Yeah, because, like Riker's like, the weapon went off. Did you shoot it? And he says, oh, it must have malfunctioned. And he totally shoots that guy. Like, he's going to kill him.
Damn, dude. I mean, I can't blame him for shooting that guy.
Yeah, that guy is an animal. So
that brings up, like, a lot of questions about Data.
Yeah, like, if Data's able to
don't really
do that.
get answered.
Yeah, it's dark. It's dark as fuck. It's like Terminator shit, dude. Yeah, it's not great.
And it does a slow zoom in on Data's eyes and goes...
And one of them turns red, and you're like, he's a fucking Terminator!
Oh, no!
Terminator. Those are the lyrics to that.
7 and 9 and the Hirogen face off, and she's like, you knew this whole time. And he's like, yeah, I've lived too long. It's time for me to get karate chopped to death by a hot blonde.
Yeah, he's like, because he tells her about his kid at one point, and his kid, they're hunting, and he gets captured. He doesn't know where his son is, blah, blah.
It's been like 19 years or something at this point.
He's been fighting for 19 years. Like, Jesus, dude.
Of course he wants somebody to kill him.
Yeah.
It's the only way out he can see, right?
Yeah.
So that's the two options, like Josh said. It's either he gets killed or
she gets killed.
She gets killed.
Yeah.
And the Star Trek way is to find the third option, which sort of happens accidentally.
It happens because the crew of the Voyager is like, let's shoot the fuck out of the ship.
Yeah, they're not really trying to save the Hirogen. It's mostly like an accident. They're like, we can't beam her out without
they don't know
the
about him. They're trying to get Tuvok and her. And they get Tuvok out, like, pretty immediately because he's just in the office room, which I guess doesn't have as much shielding around it or something. I don't know.
I guess. I think it's because they're, like, fighting. They can't differentiate their lifestyles.
Right.
But, like, there's a whole lot of, like, bad fight choreography, but there's some good fight choreography as well.
Yeah.
Like, pretty much whenever the body doubles are in, it's good.
It's good, right? But then it cuts back to them.
And they're like Star Trek foo.
Yeah, Star Trek foo. We should learn Star Trek foo.
It's all about that double axe handle.
Maybe if they're $50 and up patrons, they can get a Star Trek foo certificate from us or something. I don't know.
Captain Kirk's School of Double Axe Handles.
Double Axe Handles School of Instant Death.
Voyager shows up at this point while the fight's happening with Pink's ship, and there's this great moment where they call him. Pink's like, nah, now's not a good time.
Yeah, he just hangs up on him. Like, what the fuck? He doesn't even care that they're, like, shooting at him or whatever the fuck.
And, they basically, like, get into this fight where they're having to strategically attack the larger ship because it's, like, outgun them in every way. It's, like, every hit is taking them down, like, 10% on their shields. It's a pretty strong-ass weapons they're firing. So they try and take out their shield generators. Which seems like something you shouldn't be able to do through a shield, but they do it.
I guess if you apply phasers to the area, it also damages the area slightly.
It's like
my
wearing a
understanding.
football helmet, right?
Yeah.
Like your brain still gets rattled around.
You're still getting
inside when you
hit, yeah, but you're not. That's why like the phasers are for shields, photons are for hulls, right? Like,
yeah, they're trying to basically give Pink's ship a concussion.
Right.
And, they keep firing on the shield generators, and it gives them a better ability to scan, and that's how they find Tuvok.
Yeah, they get him out.
They can't get Seven out because she's fisticuffsing with the
Too
Hirigen.
much sweet fight moves make it hard to lock on, I guess.
And the Kung Fu is too strong. It cuts right through the lock on.
She's moving faster than the eye can see, like in Crouching Tiger or Dragon Ball Z or whatever the fuck.
I used to know the Japanese word for that in Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah, I remember. I used to remember that was like a move, right?
Zanzoken?
Yeah, something
like that. But
yeah,
he like shit talks her. The Hirigen's like, you're weak. You're not even prey.
He does. He's a great coach in that he knows how to get the best out of his student.
Yeah, but like the thing that sets her off, he calls her imperfect, and she like loses it.
Yeah, she loses her fucking mind.
It reminds me of did you ever watch Scrubs?
Yeah.
This is a bit where Dr. Cox is like, I know the surgical way to like ruin everyone's day with one word.
Yeah.
And Elliot Reed, the doctor lady, comes up and she says something and he just looks at her and says eyebrows.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
JD's like, come on, you can't just. And he looks around and she's fucking in tears.
Yeah, she's crying. Yeah, yeah.
That's what it was.
That
Imperfect
fucking show.
And she loses it.
Yeah,
starts beating the shit out of him.
Yeah, she starts fucking like, what's that movie where that guy just gets punched a whole bunch?
Liar, liar.
Yes, that's the one.
You have to admit, he does get punched a whole bunch in that movie.
I haven't seen that movie in so long, honestly. God, when's the last time I saw that movie?
I haven't seen that movie in a very long time.
It's been a while.
But she does the thing like in a cartoon when they hit somebody and their head turns into a boxing bag.
Yeah,
like super fast punching. Like
yeah, she like smiths him like in The Matrix when Neo gets punched like that in the subway. I just watched it the other day again, so I remember.
Yeah, isn't that like a time capsule movie that just takes you back to a time?
That movie is amazing. That movie
is a great movie.
Is great, but yes, like it's so good. That movie is so good.
It's a great movie, but it's super a time capsule. It's like this like acid house time.
Oh, it's like industrial rave, like industrial metal shit. I hope that they make the new ones that they make that still look like 1999. Like that would be awesome.
That industrial house like aesthetic is exactly what they need.
It needs to be like that again because like they'll have CRTs and shit. You know what I mean? Like that's cool.
So
as fuck,
great.
Dude.
It's so fun.
Yeah.
Anyway, she like whips his butt, whips it good, and everybody's like psyched about it. They're like, we hate the Borg, but we love it when people die.
Yeah, we love watching. We're just the fickle mob, right? We'll do whatever.
There's no moral to be taught there either. So they don't do it.
It's not like everyone like in like Cool Hand Luke or whatever when he's getting his ass beat. Like everyone just like doesn't like it. They're like, oh god, you know.
I'm not a big fan of this. Cause
they walk away. They're like, I can't watch this. Like no, everyone's like, yeah, Tsunkatse rules.
They can't get rid of the shields. The shields are too strong. So they start firing on the signal generators, but they get their shit wrecked.
Yeah, they're getting fricked up.
Like their whole system gets like knocked offline. They don't have weapons or anything.
Mm-hmm.
And meanwhile, 7 and 9 is about to kill, right?
Yep.
About to thrill and kill.
Shoot to thrill! AC/DC plays. It's weird, but whatever.
It plays during the whole scene on the Voyager as well, even though it doesn't fit at all.
They're just listening in, I guess. I don't know.
Weapons are offline. and there's another ship coming, and oh no, we're gonna be outnumbered, but nah, it's the Voyager, it's the Delta Flyer.
It's the Delta Flyer, and it's got fucking phasers that can shoot through anything, apparently.
Yeah, it shoots through shields.
It fucking ruins their satellite dish. It shoots the satellite dish off.
They shoot like a Destructo disc from Dragon Ball Z, and it just goes straight the fuck through the shields and cuts the thing off. And the fight goes off in one of the arenas, and everybody's like, "Oh,
boo, we're Philly fans, boo."
Damn.
I wonder what happens. And then they
never know.
And they won't.
Yeah.
They literally will never know.
And Pink, being an idiot, is like, oh, we lost half the audience. Reroute power to the transmitters.
What an idiot.
And so the shields come down, so they just beam the Hirogen and Seven out. Because they can't separate their life signs.
Sure. Convenient way of dealing with that problem.
And,
why not?
Well, they get transported up to the Voyager.
Yeah, and then that's pretty much it. And then they have a father-daughter moment in the sick bay. And the doctor's like weirdly like overprotective, and it's stupid because the doctor's stupid sometimes.
Yeah, the doctor is stupid sometimes. Like everybody lists the doctor as like everybody lists him as like a high point of the series, and sometimes he is.
Sometimes he is, but a lot of times he's a dumb.
Like sometimes he's just annoying. Like I like the character a lot, but he suffers the same problem that a lot of characters do, where they're written so poorly and inconsistently sometimes.
They don't grow. Like he doesn't really ever grow up until like the last season when he's doing stupid shit. Like we watched that one episode. It was season 7, right? And he's like an idiot. The one where he's like a multiple guy, right?
Oh yeah.
What the fuck was that episode? I don't even remember the name.
I don't remember the name of that either. Fuck it.
Yeah.
So the thing that really sticks with me here, right? Like our heroes have stumbled into this situation where a society that has warp is kidnapping people.
Yeah.
And forcing them to fight to the death. They know this exists now. They know that the government of this planet is
sort of sanctioning it. Yeah.
It's sort of sanctioned in a way, like they're turning a blind eye. And they know that this ship is full of slaves that are being forced to fight to the death.
Yeah, they just sort of like
they just leave.
Go. Yeah, I don't know, man. Like that's the problem with this show, right? Is like they have to keep going. They can never stop really to like fix the because like I mean they would never get home. But like
they're never gonna get home anyway.
Well, they as far as they know, they're not, right? It's like gonna be like 80 years from now, right?
So they like, just leave like this ship full of slaves that are doomed to fight until they die.
Right. It's dumb. I agree. It's a lazy. It's a problem with the show. The whole show has problems like that they can't avoid. Like before, they would like in season 1 or whatever, they would be like, "Well, here's like a made up reason why we can't do that," right?
I mean, there's always a good way to write around the problem. Like TNG is really good at this, where like there's a situation where, like you said, they can't solve this problem.
Yeah,
like,
there's
always some way that they're going to try to make it at least better for some of the people involved.
Right, like why not just like at the end of that fight, like beam Pank out of there and have the like Spartacus the ship, like they take the slaves take over the ship or whatever. You know what I mean? Like why not?
That
do
would
that?
have been a fun ending.
And then have Pank fight in the ring or whatever. You know what I mean? Like here you go, and then give him back to the slaves and be like, here you go.
Really, it's just a ship as well, and they've already like disabled a lot of its shields and everything.
Right, it's just the one ship. It's not like a fleet of them.
Yeah,
it's just,
so why didn't the Voyager crew just like beam aboard the ship, like knock out the rest of their shields, beam aboard the ship, and like take it over? There's only like a handful of guards.
Right, there's like 3 of them.
But instead, they just leave it, and Pink continues to kidnap people and force them to fight to the death for the rest of his life.
But Jeff, we gotta go. We gotta get back to the Alpha Quadrant. Like, friends.
We gotta get there. We only have 75 years.
Yeah,
so.
we gotta cut like a few more milliseconds off of this endless journey.
It's more important that we continue on our way forever than it is that you slaves get your freedom.
Yeah. I know, man. I don't know. The show it's just not good. Like, it's not very good.
It's not great, no.
Yeah.
Like we always say, I would much rather watch Voyager than any of the new Trek for the most part.
Yes.
So it's still Star Trek, and it's a lot of times it tries. It sort of, this episode is a spectacle.
Yeah, this episode's like not terrible. Like
no. It's a spectacle, though. It's like all surface level.
Right.
Like I said, they keep touching on these morals that, like, we as an audience immediately pick up on. Like, oh, that's like a Chekhov's gun, right? That's going to come back later, and then it doesn't.
Well, it also, like, this episode, the strength of it is that two of the more interesting characters are in it, for the most part.
That's true.
The other characters, when they're on screen, kind of suck. You know?
Yeah, they're written in such a way that, like, I understand that one of the writers did like 1 million other episodes, and that makes sense to me. Like, this is like, I gotta write another one, right?
Right, sure.
And it's a high concept thing. Like, we're gonna do that old cliche. Like, you get kidnapped and you have to fight in the slave ring.
Yeah, and the Rock's gonna be there and all this. Yeah.
At the end of all those stories, the slaves get freed. That's the big.
That's
cool
the payoff. Yeah, that's the payoff.
But that doesn't happen in this.
No, they're just on the ship, I guess, until forever. Who knows?
And there are people listening right now. I can hear you through the internet being like, well, they subverted a cliche. How is that a bad thing? And if they would have subverted a cliche in any real way, like if we would have saw the aftermath on Pink's ship,
right,
and he like doubled down on the shittiness, and like the slaves had to deal with that now.
Right.
If there was some sort of closure for that at all, whether it gets better,
there has
or
to be
worse.
closure. They subverted a cliche, if you want to call it that, by not doing anything. That's just not doing anything. That's not subverting it.
The end of the episode, our heroes run away.
Yeah.
And what happens to the villains? Who knows?
It's not like they run away like sometimes that it happens in Star Trek where like they're like, wow, that was a close one. Like they win, like they do it. They don't.
Yeah.
It wasn't a close one. You know what I mean? Like
they did it fine.
Yeah, they were winning. They beat them, but they just leave because I guess fuck it. I guess
the real moral at the end of this episode, if you can call it that, like the Aesop.
Yeah.
At the end of the episode, is the scene with Tuvok and Seven where they discuss her humanity,
right?
Which gets brought up like once. Like when she's talking about how she doesn't want to kill.
Right.
And then she kind of like throws that shit to the side and she's like, I'm a hunter, right?
I'm a killing machine. Yeah.
And she's got her humanity back at the end of the episode, and like Tuvok like comments on it and everything. It's a fairly nice little scene.
It's nice. It's a nice ending for them because he's like, yeah.
It's like a bingo. It's not like it's like a roll of the dice, really. They had like 12 morals throughout the episode.
Yeah, pick one.
They just threw that dice down and it landed on 6. And they were like,
do that one.
We'll do the 6th one.
Yeah.
The episode really gets by on the good parts of the fight choreography, the spectacle of the episode, and the strength of the guest stars like J.G. Hertzler, Jeffrey Combs,
and Combs.
The Rock.
Like,
is like a big draw of the episode.
Like a cherry on top, right?
Yeah. Like, those are all really fun things, and this episode has like a fun vibe to it.
Yeah.
And that's probably why they don't get too much into the whole slaves being forced to fight to the death.
All they needed to do is have Seven go up to the bridge, like she's in sick bay, and like they come down and she says, I need to go to the bridge, right? So they go to the bridge and she says, tap me into the feed. And she just says like a 7 and 9 speech about like not like succumbing to hate or like some Star Trek shit, right? It
really could have just been as simple as they like hack into the feed.
Yeah, they hack the feed.
Tells everyone.
Yeah, what it is.
That they're slaves.
Yeah,
they're being forced to fight against their will, and there's no way for them to take that information back.
Right, and then people can like you show a shot of them watching the fight or whatever, and they're like, oh, whoa, like they didn't know.
They all stop cheering.
Yeah, they just don't cheer. Yeah, that's all you need.
Like you get like a fucking shot of Pink being like, our viewership is gone. Yeah, it's all gone.
And then he goes, bye.
Bye-bye. He fucking takes off.
Skate pods out of there. Yeah. Like
the
something
guards
like
just
that.
kind of look back at each other like, huh?
Yeah.
What do we do now?
Yeah. It gets by, too, at the end with Tuva. Again, it's the two stronger characters in the show. You know, and Tuvok saying like, "Oh, you reaffirmed your humanity because you feel shame for feeling that." Like that's very Star Trek. Like,
it is.
That's a great. Like it's not great, but it's a very good Star Trek ending.
It's a good bookend for sure.
Yeah.
The episode is sort of all over the place. Is my only problem.
For sure. No, I agree with you. 100%.
And it's not a bad episode. Like as far as like Voyager episodes go, it's pretty good.
Yeah, it is. It's up there. It's one of the better ones.
Like I would watch it again.
Yeah,
it's not something I could say for like
for
a lot
many
of
them
middle episodes.
You don't like
Voyager.
the one where they find what's her name, the pilot who Amelia Earhart.
Amelia Earhart. That's a great episode.
That one, you don't like that one?
Okay. There's an episode of TOS, a show that a lot of Voyager fans call hokey and ridiculous, corny, too old to watch, where our heroes meet Abraham Lincoln, Space-Braham Lincoln.
Space-Braham Lincoln, yeah.
And he's a man at a time.
Yeah.
And they learn stuff from him and they work with him and then he gets sent back to the past. And that's
my good friend Abraham Lincoln from the time period I'm also from.
And that's stupid, hokey, and old. But in Voyager, they meet Amelia Earhart and that's fucking fine, apparently.
It's okay. That's where she went, Jeff. She went to space. She went to Voyager.
Amelia Earhart.
She didn't
in space.
She didn't die in the ocean like she absolutely did.
She went into the Bermuda Triangle and it took her to space land.
That's right. Devil's Triangle. That's the one in the Pacific Ocean.
It took her to the fucking Delta Quadrant.
Yeah, it took her to the other side of the galaxy. Why not? Fuck it. And Voyager found her. What are the odds?
You know what episode of Voyager I like? The one where the Ferengi from that episode of TNG show up.
Oh, yeah.
The ones who wanted the stable wormhole and they got trapped in it. And then they show up in...
God.
In Voyager. That's a great episode.
That's amazing. That's actually really funny.
I love that episode.
Yeah.
There are episodes of Voyager that I would definitely watch a bunch of times.
Yeah.
There's just not a whole lot of them.
The Sarah Silverman is pretty okay. The one where she's in
Sarah Silverman, like, weirdly, like I said before, like, weirdly looking real cute in that 90s episode.
I don't know, man. I'm into her. I like her. I don't know if it's the humor or I think she's
super
attractive.
funny.
Yeah, I think she's attractive.
I don't think she's not attractive. I just think she especially looks attractive in that episode.
I would let her, like, make fun of me.
Okay.
That'd be a fun time.
She's funny.
Yeah.
And the end of the episode, like Josh said, is Tuvok saying that she's reaffirmed her humanity.
Yeah.
And I don't know. There's so many things in this episode that I wish would have come back around. But I guess there was more time for flipping.
There was more time for flipping and more time for that dumb scene where everyone's being real macho, bro-y.
Yeah, like I could beat you up.
Yeah, like
I got a bigger wiener than you.
Real dumb. Like I guess in a way it's like they're just joking around and it's like kind of okay. Like it's not like really dumb,
not,
but it's like
not ridiculous or anything. But it's weirdly out of character, especially for Kim.
Yeah, Harry's not really that confident, and like I don't know, man. Like they do have a good line.
Type of dude who says he's gonna beat you up. That's not what he does.
Yeah, well, Paris is like, we wouldn't want to bruise your clarinet fingers, which I thought was really funny. That's a funny line.
That's an okay line. It's a super douchey line.
Oh no, for sure. But it's like it's kind of funny because like he doesn't really take it personally, which I think is good. Because like whatever, I don't know. It's not great, but it's like dumb. It could have just been used to like do another thing, you know. Like they don't need to be in the episode, do they? Who cares about them?
No, they don't. They don't have to be in the episode at all. But they do have to collect their check.
They do, which they got for 5 minutes of work that day, I guess.
Hey, did you know that this episode has had a 6% share of the Nielsen ratings, making it the highest rated episode of the entire season?
Yeah, well, that was back when TV was like a thing.
Oh, for sure. But like, it's got The Rock on it. That's why.
That's why. Yeah, they knew.
Also, Jeffrey Combs and J.G. Hertzler had apparently never been in the scene together before this episode.
Oh, not even on DS9.
Apparently not.
That's cool. They're great, dude. They're two of them. Like you think like it would be dumb that they're playing these guys, but I love it. I can't
absolutely
get enough.
love it, dude. They're definitely a high point in this episode.
Yeah, I can't get enough of those two guys.
Like Jeffrey Combs could play anyone, and I would watch that movie.
Yeah, that's why when he used Shran, I was like, "Fuck yes," and he kept coming back, and I was like, "Hell yeah." He's like a good guy. He's not like, but he's also like kind of not a good guy at first.
Oh yeah, he's kind of a shitty guy.
Yeah, it's cool.
Apparently, The Rock was the first WWE superstar to appear on Star Trek, but he wouldn't be the last.
Who's another one?
Tiny Lister Jr.
Okay.
And The Big Show, who are both.
Oh, The Big Show is Orion.
That makes sense.
On Enterprise, and he picks up to Paul and he says something like, "You're really small" or something.
That makes sense. He's the Big Show.
Yeah.
Also, I was gonna make a joke earlier in the episode about the shoes they're wearing looking like fucking Nikes. I thought they are actually Nikes.
Yeah, I thought that too. I was like, "Yo, look at those fucking like sweet Nikes," and like I didn't know they were though.
They actually were made by Nike.
How interesting.
That's your John Larroquette fun fact of the week.
Hell yeah.
This episode is okay.
It's like a
It's better
C,
than okay.
Like a C plus, B minus if I'm feeling
I give
generous.
it a B minus
Yeah,
for Voyager.
B minus.
Like I'm grading on a curve, right?
Oh, on a curve for Voyager, it's like a A minus.
It's like a B plus on the curve. I think.
B plus, A minus, like 90%.
I'm always rating stuff like a dickhead compared to you. You're always so much nicer. You're always like, yeah, it's like a B plus, and I'm like, it's an F.
I think because I kind of I'm much more, contrary to popular belief, I'm much more generous about things than I think people think I am. I can see like where they're going with things sometimes, or I think I see where they're going, and I give them some credit for that.
Especially with Star Trek, I think.
Yeah,
it's
right.
And I try to like force myself to be a little bit more like objective with my scores because I feel like I would be like, it's Star Trek, it's good,
right?
And
we're pretty harsh on Voyager though. Like we rag.
I feel
on
bad
it
about that sometimes because it's not like god awful or anything.
No,
it's just not as good as most of the other shows.
Compare it to the show that was on at the same time as it, and it's horrible.
Yeah, like Deep Space Nine is amazing.
Yeah.
And Voyager really suffers from being like, I feel like the B team worked on Voyager.
Well, we always say it too. Like the cast is bad. Like they're not. I mean, spare like Janeway, Tuvok. Fuck, I'll throw 7. Like
the Doctor's okay.
The Doctor, yeah, but like
the thing
minus
is, I
them.
like these characters. They're not really played all that well.
Yeah, they're not done very well. Even B'Elanna, who should be like super interesting, isn't really that interesting. You know,
they're written so completely inconsistent. Like I feel like there was a series Bible that was followed very closely.
Yeah.
Throughout Deep Space Nine, like TNG had a little bit more wiggle room where characters could change very heavily.
Right.
But like, I feel like there was a sense of continuity in those shows where these characters are the same characters from episode to episode.
Yeah, Paris learns nothing. B'Elanna's sort of the same. She just like learns how to get married. But like, okay.
She learns how to get prego.
Yeah, she knows how to get fucked and have a baby. But like, what? Like, seriously, like, who cares? Like, that's all just like psychopaths can do that. You know what I mean? Like
TV
anybody.
Set dressing, right? Like this character has a baby.
Yeah,
these characters get married. That's whatever. Like the inconsistency episode to episode sometimes drags down characters who were genuinely great in some episodes, and then they suck.
They
in
suck
others.
in the next. Yeah,
like Janeway gets this real heavily, where she's like an amazing character in some episodes, and then others you're like, the fuck are you doing, Janeway?
Yeah, like when she fucks that hologram Irish guy. It's like, dude, like what the fuck is this? Like, why are we like? Why does Janeway like need this? Like, it's like they were trying to like make
Everybody
again
has needs, Josh.
Sure, and it's like they were trying to make some kind of comment about womanhood, but it kind of just falls a little flat. And it's, I mean, I don't know. I'm not a woman. I guess I can't really say, but like.
I don't really know how that goes at all.
It feels to me like they just sort of were like, well, women have needs and, you know, she's a woman, but but she's also a fucking Starfleet captain, and like Starfleet captain, and she's a really goddamn good Starfleet captain. I just don't.
Picard fuck a hologram?
Nah, he just fucked a science lady. And
what was that hologram that like Riker and Picard both were like talking to in the episode where they holograms came to life, and it was like a hologram that they had both like hung out with before.
Oh, the one she's like
lounge singer.
She's a singer, yeah. I don't know if they both.
Did they fuck? Did they both have sex with the same hologram?
Riker, maybe.
I'm sure Riker did, yeah. But
is it like an Indiana Jones 3 thing where they both fuck the Nazi girl? Dad and son both fuck the same girl, maybe. I don't know.
That makes sense. Yeah, like Janeway has these episodes where she makes these like wildly out of character decisions.
Yeah.
And then the good writer comes back in and they're just scratching their head like, what the fuck do I do with
what
this?
do I do with this now? Yeah.
And they try and work around it and figure it out. But there's this like wildly different characterization where sometimes she's this very like caring, understanding, like how Picard's a fatherly figure.
Right, she's
like
mother,
a motherly
yeah.
figure. She's also like tough as nails and she takes no shit.
Right.
And she's a great captain. And then there are other episodes where she's just like angry.
Yeah.
She's just like, she wants revenge. She's
vengeful,
on everybody.
for sure. Which I kind of like that, like in a certain degree. But like,
there's nothing wrong with that characterization. The problem comes in that it just doesn't fit the character.
What
it's constantly swinging back and forth.
Right. What they should do is save that for, like with Picard. Like when he gets angry like that, it's because of his trauma with the Borg, right? So it makes sense. Like for her, it should be like she's just sick of being there. Like she's fucking sick of being in the Delta Quadrant.
There's so much pressure on her to get them home in some way, and she hasn't figured out a way that could be a great character.
Right, that's what it should be, and then she starts to kind of lose it a little bit, you know.
But instead, it's one episode she's like angry as fuck and vengeful and like all for rocker, and then the other episode she's perfectly fine. She's back to being the Janeway that we all know.
Plus she drinks like 17 cups of coffee a day. That might have something
probably what it is. She's just so juiced up.
She's fucking drinking like 8 cups of coffee. Like, holy shit, dude.
Her blood is just straight up bean juice.
You're gonna die.
There's no hemoglobins in there anymore.
Yeah, it's just brown.
It's just brown water.
Brown, hot brown.
It's Voyager is like I always say, it's a whole lot of missed opportunities because they had like a great setup that they could have done something with.
Yeah,
and it's mostly just like they tried to do another TNG, and TNG hadn't even been off the air all that long.
Yeah, honestly, what they should have done. I don't even know if I believe what I was gonna say, so I don't know. Maybe they should have waited, but then it wouldn't be Mulgrew, and I really like Kate Mulgrew. I don't know, man.
Oh yeah, it was like pure happenstance that Kate Mulgrew got the role as Janeway, and I'm super glad she did.
Yeah, like I don't know, and it's just such a weird. It's like an ugly duckling of a show, and I don't really know. Like sometimes you're like, oh god, this show's ugly as fuck, and then other times you're like, nah, this show's all right. I don't know.
It really depends on the episode you're watching.
Yeah, it kind of depends on like the mood I'm in too. Like sometimes I'm just like totally like, yeah, whatever, I'm gonna watch it. Who cares? That usually doesn't happen anymore. Like since weirdly enough, since Netflix is around and shit, like I don't watch it.
There's too much else to watch.
Yeah,
you can watch out there.
Right, I can just watch like good Star Trek. I don't have to watch Voyager.
For sure. Like Voyager. I don't think waiting would have been the thing. I think Voyager should have created its own feel.
Yeah.
Deep Space Nine immediately distances itself from TNG. Like, the whole first episode is, we are not TNG. This is what we are.
Well, Ronald D. Moore had a lot to do with that. And ironically, or not ironically, or whatever, enough, Voyager could have used Ronald D. Moore, because that's basically the show he did after DS9.
I think Voyager is like a Brandon Braga joint.
That might be part of it.
Well, that's definitely why 7 of 9 exists.
Yeah, he wants to climb up that giant vagina.
Like he is a straight up sex pervert on every fetish. He's got them all.
Yeah.
I'm not sure who was like the ringleader on Voyager, because it really does seem like they were just switching in and out whoever they had for everything.
Yeah, I think
Voyager was like a back burner show to begin with.
I think they just didn't have like. I think it's sort of like when you buy a restaurant and you're like, oh man, this restaurant's really successful. I'm gonna buy another one, but like you can't run two. You know, you gotta run one. You can't run two.
Oh, I think this was the first series that like Rick Berman took full control. Him and Michael Piller took like full control of.
Yeah, and this is when like the movies were starting to get real dumb.
Yeah, like Rick Berman is like a kiss of death.
Yeah,
like that man does not know what he's doing.
I mean, I mean, we like again, like we say that and it's true, but like I would take Rick Berman over these buttholes doing this shit now.
I'd take Rick Berman over J.J. Abrams any day.
I would take Rick Berman over Kurtzman. Like, fuck, dude. At least Rick Berman was, like, working on Star Trek when it was Star Trek, and he kind of, like, knew how to make it that.
Like, Rick Berman understood that, like, you had to let people make what they want to make when it comes to Star Trek.
Yeah.
Like, these people... understanding that the people who are... you're handing the reins to as writers and directors understand what Star Trek is, probably a little bit better than you do as a suit.
Right, back when people cared about it being the thing that it is. I was thinking about this the other day, about, this is like a whole other podcast, but like about how like we run into like the problem now, why everyone, I think I know partially why everyone hates things, is because we're confusing art and good storytelling with people doing like whatever they want. You know what I mean? Like or people following like Star Wars or Star Trek, like there are rules in the universe, and now people are just like, well, I'm gonna make it whatever I want. And in a like a postmodern viewpoint, that's amazing, right? That's art. Like, I mean, it can be whatever.
It really does seem like that's the best way to go about it, but then you realize that like all of the best art throughout history has been made
some training
in the confines of some type of structure.
Yes, I agree.
Like, everybody rebels against a structure, but like having limitations makes you work harder to create something great.
Right. That's
if you can do whatever,
view.
like I could just draw a picture of a pig making doo-doo.
Right.
And
that's amazing.
Nobody cares about that.
Right. Who cares? Yeah. I think that's partially like what's going on with the internet and shit is like, so when you and I don't mean to speak for you, but with me and I think with you, we expect like a more modernist view of things where like there's rules, and like if you want to make a building that looks like a building from the 1930s in New York, it's got to have the rules, right? Follow the fucking rules. But
like, I'm of the like I feel like rules are a groundwork.
Yeah,
like,
yeah. That's what I mean.
That's a phrase that like I learned. I forget who I even learned it from, but it's like a super famous phrase. Everybody knows it on Earth. It's you can't break the rules until you know them.
Yeah, right.
And I'm all about breaking rules and like doing things new and different and wild and crazy.
But you have to know.
But you have to know the rules in order to break them, or else you're just doing anything.
Exactly.
You're not subverting expectations in any real, understandable way.
Right. If you're making Discovery,
doing whatever.
Right. That's what Discovery is. I feel like Discovery is like, well, we're breaking all the rules, but it's like you don't know the rules that you're even breaking. Like, you're just doing what the
breaking
fuck
the rules
ever.
of the JJ universe, like that already like destroyed the rules of the original universe.
Right. It's I don't know. I think that's part of the problem here.
I feel like there's definitely a huge misunderstanding about like rule breaking, like breaking outside the box, like doing your own thing, as being a blind process. Like, you can do whatever,
right?
And that's cool. You can do whatever, but unless you know the basics, unless you know what a square is, unless you know how to draw a cube,
right,
you can't break the boundaries of a cube in a way that's going to like affect your audience, like the like the 3D cube that's impossible where the sides
Tesseract.
connect. Yeah, Tesseract.
Yeah.
like you can't break the rules of reality of the way the eye sees if you don't understand how the way the eye sees.
Right. You're just breaking rules that, like you said, like you're just doing whatever. And
You're
agree.
not doing anything interesting,
right?
Or like thought-provoking or useful in any way.
Right. It's not valuable just because, like, that again, it's the postmodern view. It's valuable because it exists, which is like very our generation, right? Like, well, I did it, that's valuable, but like that's not, like, you and I both know that that's not true. like
when it, like, I feel like that's it's not true in film. It's not true
in
like
art,
storytelling.
Yeah. Right.
Storytelling has structure because it connects the audience to the story.
Right.
Like, if you don't know what's happening in the story, if there's no structure to it, then you have no reason to be connected to it.
Right.
But when it comes to, like, painting or, like, even some types of comics or whatever, like,
sure.
I'm totally cool with postmodernism and things that don't necessarily need a full structure.
Right, sort of like Aqua Teen Hunger Force, right? That's a good,
sure.
Like, that's nonsense, but it's great. And it's just great because it's nonsense.
And that works because it's comedy.
Right.
Like, comedy doesn't really need the structure of a story.
Right, exactly.
In the same way.
Exactly.
As long as it makes the audience laugh, if it's absurd.
That's all that matters, yeah.
That's all that matters. But, like, you can't create, like, 3-4 seasons, however long Discovery is going to go on,
right.
of a science fiction program that follows absolutely no rules of its own universe.
Yeah, it's a self-destruction. It's just going to implode.
And there are just a lot of people who enjoy things because it's what they like, and they couldn't really put to words what it is that makes them like it.
Well, those people should go to a museum. They should go fucking watch some videos on YouTube about painting. Like, there's that David Draws guy or whatever. Like, he'll tell you about art. That shit's cool as fuck. Learn a little bit about, like, some shit, you know, that isn't something maybe you like about writing or television or movies or something.
It's something like, I feel so bad for college art professors.
Yeah.
Because the one thing I ran into constantly being a student that I had to listen to other students go on and on and on about is, like, why do I have to learn all this horse shit? Like, why can't I just create?
Why have to learn anything? Yeah, yeah.
Why are they forcing all this art history and shit down our throat? Like, why are they forcing all these like fundamentals down our throat?
Honestly,
like, I know all this already, but you don't.
As like a history lover, I loved that, and I hated the drawing of stuff. I just wanted to learn about it. I didn't want to do it.
I did love art history. Like, I took art history every semester.
It's great.
I was there.
It's amazing.
I was one credit away from having a minor in art history.
Well, you should just go get it. Go take something.
I might one day. It would be.
Can you take like
fun
an online shit or some shit and just be like,
maybe
give me that shit,
dude? It would be, if I had the money, I would, because it would be super fun to take another art history course.
Yeah, I loved it. I thought it was great.
I do really well on Jeopardy for the most part.
Yeah, you're really good
when
at
art
it.
history comes up.
Well, you remember. I don't retain it as well. I retain like history knowledge better than art history for whatever reason. I don't.
It's like tough. Art history is a little tougher because, like, the only thing that connects the image in your brain with the name is this thin little rope.
Is the thing,
of thought. Like, you have to be like, okay. It's like
there's not a lot of context there for what's going on.
Like, learning art history is a lot like learning how to be like a detective. It's like learning how to deduce things, because you have to look at a piece and try to remember the markers that go along with a certain artist.
Right.
Like, if you see melting clocks, then you know that's going to be like a Hieronymus Bosch or like a fucking Salvador Dali. Yeah. You always have to look for like the little things that they always did.
Right.
And it's super fun to me. It's always super fun. It's having an understanding of the basic ground rules of anything allows you to springboard into your own creations that break those rules or subvert them or create all new rules. But without that foundation, you're just sort of like floating in the muck. You don't really have any direction.
I always think of it more as sort of like you're just jerking off. It just seems very
You're making your own muck.
Yeah, you're swimming in your own wiener muck, honestly.
Ugh.
Yeah.
That was a bit of a tangent.
I know. I said it was like its own pod. We could like talk about this for like hours and hours.
I feel like I lean a little bit more postmodernist than you do, but
Probably.
I do feel like that foundation of understanding modernism is necessary.
But again, like I think there are things that are completely insane and out of nowhere that are amazing. But like that's the value of something like being good and not being good. Like I guess that still is very modernist. It's not postmodernist because I'm still like, well, it has to be good, you know? Like I don't know.
Yeah, like we're at like postmodernism. There's not even a name for it yet.
Yeah, it's not even like a thing. I don't know.
There's like a creative freedom that comes along with like breaking the rules or ignoring the rules, but it's just my personal opinion that knowing those rules allows you that creative freedom.
Yeah,
you're not really exercising your freedoms,
right?
To ignore the rules if you don't even know what the rules are.
It's just ignorance, is what I feel like it is. You're just being ignorant. And
Ignorance
that's
is bliss.
All right, Cypher, talking about the Matrix.
That's right.
Yeah.
I know the stakes 0s and 1s, but oh, it tastes so good.
How does he know? Like, how does he? Whatever. He's an idiot. How does he trick himself into thinking it's good? Like, he knows it's not a thing.
He's a huge fucking moron.
Yeah, that guy sucks.
I'm gonna make a deal with a robot.
What do they like? Why wouldn't they just be like, "Fuck you" and kill him? Like, I would just kill him. I'd be like, "Whatever, dude. I'm not putting you back in there." You know how hard of work that is.
That's like a weird little plot hole, right? Where he's sitting in the chair still, right?
Yeah.
Or no, he's gone. Like the chair is empty. Like what happened? Where'd he go?
What do you mean?
His body. Where'd his body go?
Oh, he gets laser beamed.
Oh, who cares, right?
He
Fuck
gets
that guy.
he gets laser beamed by the electric gun.
Oh yeah, by the
tank or
jiggly worm. This episode of Voyager's all right though. I recommend it.
C+.
If you break all the rules of a book club podcast, which is what this is, and you don't actually watch the episode before coming here, I suggest you watch it because it's pretty good.
Check it out for real.
You ever think about that our podcast is basically just a book club?
Yeah, it's exactly what it is.
I find that comforting. It's a cute little thing.
Yeah,
like
it's a book club that takes like really quick. It's like a 44-minute read.
I was thinking about like if I had to explain my podcast to people.
Yeah.
Because like half of my income almost comes from podcasting.
Yeah.
Like if I had to explain like, oh, I'm an artist and like I'm also a podcaster, the first thing somebody's gonna ask is what is you podcast? What is it?
Yeah.
I would say, oh, it's a sci-fi book club.
Right. Yeah, it's pretty much what it is.
And hopefully they don't ask me what I read.
Oh, have you read this? Yes. If that is.
Oh, what do you mostly read?
Star
like,
Trek.
oh, we do a lot of Star Trek.
Talk a lot about Star Trek.
Literally, almost entirely about
Not
it.
literarily, but literally, we watch a show.
I don't know if I could do like a book club.
Nah, it's too much.
I read a book so slowly. So.
If I don't like a book, I don't read it fast. If I like a book, I fucking blow through that shit. But if I'm not like into it, it's like blech. Like I'm not into it.
I got some new books I'm looking to check out.
I have so many books I gotta read. It's like crazy.
I just finished reading The Hobbit again.
Yeah, I love that book.
I love The Hobbit. And I was thinking about jumping into Lord of the Rings because I got those new copies.
I've never read it. I've never read it.
You should. It's good.
I know it's like different in a lot of ways where like
it is.
Legolas is like standing on snow and shit. I guess he does that in the movie.
Well, he does that in the movie.
Yeah.
The big difference I run into when I read it is Aragorn is kind of a different character. Like in the book, he's like, yeah, I'm gonna be king someday. So you know,
he's like cool with it. Yeah.
Yeah, in the movie, he's like doing everything he can not to.
Yeah, I kind of think that,
which is much more interesting.
It's better. Yeah, I kind of think it's better. Yeah. And I like that the eye is there. Like there needs to be something. The eye's not in the book, right? It's just
it's metaphorical,
right,
in the book.
But
like it's never described what it looks like. It's always just the eye is watching. Anytime they mention the eye in the movie, they mention it in the book. They just don't cut to a shot of
the eye. Yeah.
Because you can't do that in the book.
What they could have done in the movie is just had like Sauron's helmet or something like on a stand. And Sauron. Sorry.
That's confusing, though, isn't
Yeah.
it? Like, I had problems with that when I first got into Lord of the Rings, like, real bad.
Yeah.
Where, why did you name your two villains so similar?
I don't know. It's sort of
This
dumb.
is Skeletor and Skullator.
It's sort of really dumb, honestly.
villain.
Yeah. Like,
But I picked up a couple, like, 3 Dragonlance novels because they were a set at our
Yeah.
local used bookstore, which is fucking super dope. Our used bookstore is. And they're the Dwarven Nations trilogy.
All right.
It's about how the dwarves became like a nation together, how they all came
oh,
together.
that's cool.
Which sounds really cool.
That's awesome.
And I also got... I've never read Ursula Le Guin. Everybody talks about how great her stories are, the
Yeah.
Earthsea stories.
Yeah.
So I got the first one, The Wizard of Earthsea, and I'm looking to
My mom got into fantasy like a couple of years ago, and so I try to
That's weird.
talk to her about fantasy shit. And the other day I was like, man, like she was asking about like the dragons in Elder Scrolls or something. I was talking about something, and she was like, oh, like, are they like the Game of Thrones dragons? And I was like, they're dicks. I was like, all dragons are dicks.
Yeah, all dragons and everything
Yeah.
are assholes.
And she was like, really? And I was like, Mom, they're all
Well,
dicks.
That's not true, actually. Like, I was gonna say, my mom actually read fantasy novels when she was younger.
Yeah.
She read them all the time. And her favorite series was the Dragon Riders of Pern.
Yeah, Dragon Riders. Yeah,
Where the dragons are, like, super dope best friends
they're like
forever.
wise. Yeah, they're like wise.
Yeah.
I mean, all dragons are kind of wise in a way.
Yeah,
but
but most dragons are dickheads.
yeah,
though.
they're kind of like Jinn, like in mythology. Jinn and dragons are kind of similar in that they could go. They just do whatever they want. Basically, they're like, I'm
That's
just
true.
gonna do whatever I want.
Who's gonna stop them?
Yeah, right.
They're massive.
Who wouldn't? Yeah, who would? Who would?
Anyway, we're getting into another Jeff and Josh shoot the shit with
Fuck.
fantasy here. So
Fuck. We have a problem.
We got a lot of problems, buddy.
I know.
I'm gonna go ahead and call it here. I think we've discussed this episode amongst other
Bye,
things.
nerds.
I'd like to thank everybody for tuning in and listening to us ramble about our absolute favorite thing.
Yeah.
And also all of our other favorite things, apparently.
Boobs, wieners.
If you'd like to be a part of the fun, you can send in an email for our other program that we're just about to do after this one at mclassemail@gmail.com, or you can follow us on Twitter at mclasspodcast. And I'd like to give a special thanks today to Vitizen for the use of his track Outer Space Race for our theme song.
Dope.
Super I listen to it all the time.
It's
just for
awesome.
fun.
I know. Yeah, it's great.
I've never stopped it. Every time I like check to see if the track is correct or like
Yeah.
I'm like uploading it online and I check and see if it works. I
Listen
listen
to
to
the
the
whole
entire first part.
Yeah. It's really the best part of our show.
Yeah, you can just turn it off after that, honestly.
I mean, don't, but like you could. I wouldn't blame you.
You can find him on Twitter at _Vitizen_, and I think he just released our the Outer Space Race, our theme song, for like purchase. So go get it.
Sweet.
If you want to be a true Trek boy, go get it. And if you got some more money laying around after all that, you could become our patron over at patreon.com/mclasspodcast, and you'll be supporting the show, which we always appreciate.
Yes, please.
Give us money, please.
please.
Thanks again for tuning in, and we'll be back once again in a week with more M-Class goodness. Bye.
I'm mentally ill.